with the most obvious thing of where are you exactly, all of you?
Let's see. I remember.
We're right outside the clock shop.
We were outside the clock shop.
Alright, so you're all outside of a clock shop.
Okay.
Yeah. I think.
More like the cock shop. Am I right?
That's
Is
the
it
inn.
full of roosters?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
So I'm actually looking at where. Well, I'll just put another token down for.
Oh god.
I'll put another token down for Robert, since apparently the one on this map isn't here. So. Alright, so is that everyone? I have S, I have Shafnium. Ah no, I'm missing Ravandil. Because Ravandil as always needs to go God knows where, doing God knows what.
Ravendil left earlier. And
He actually did go pray to he went to the church to go pray to his pastor. Or
Because
temple.
because pretty much I just go to like holy fuck church like that. I need to go alone. I think on this. I don't need to get drunk.
Well, but if you're getting drunk, you're getting drunk in the inn, I guess.
Yeah, and also I thought I said if I found the Temple of Mista, I was going to go there and maybe just pray and say, "Dear Mista, what the fuck is wrong with my life?" Why is everything
Well, that's fine. So give me a percentage roll then.
okay. 1d100.
Yes, but tell me. Wait, no, I'm the one rolling. Sorry, tell me high or low.
I'm gonna go with low.
Alright. Well, it's a mild failure. You go looking around for a temple of Mistra, but the city is so vast that without you don't actually find one in the couple of hours you spend looking around. By the time you are done searching for the temple, you actually end up in a dingy side alley where a cloaked figure is offering you some nice choice stuff that will definitively make you feel happier. Do you want some of his powder, high elf?
Is this?
I just get a flashback to Shaft, basically snorting drugs and just making noises. I'm like, this is how it begins. This is how it happened. So I just look at the guy and I back away very, very slowly.
Well, you just
Like, back away very, very slowly. Like,
yeah, you back out of a side alley and you're back in the main street, and the guy doesn't follow you. So a couple of hours have gone by. You're relatively sure everybody else has finished having breakfast by now.
what time of the day is it?
It's morning. It's the
Let's
day.
say it's 9 a.m.
Yeah, let's say it's 9 a.m. So, Ravandil, you return to the inn, I guess, to find out what great and interesting adventure await you and the rest of the party for the day being. And you all notice, mostly because Ravandil is actually younger than Shafnium, that there's a kind of difference in age. It's not that big of a deal, maybe just a couple of wrinkles more. On the other hand, Ravandil, you're relatively sure Shafnium is your dad now. Or something similar. Maybe an uncle.
Ravi,
Yeah.
I look at him. There's something involving time travel that I need to tell you about.
oh god, please don't tell me you fucked my mother. Please don't tell me you are my brother and my father. Please, I can't take this shit anymore. Please.
In a manner of speaking,
Oh god.
depending on how you look at it.
Actually, wait. Before you begin, 1 second. I go to the bartender and I'm like, give me your strongest drink.
The bartender looks at you and goes, "Are you sure you want our strongest drink?"
Yes. Yes. please.
Then it will be 5 gold coins, and you can keep the bottle.
Auga.
I give him the 5 gold.
He pulls out an iron flask. It's literally wrought iron, and it trembles as it's held. He hands it over and goes, "We usually have this for trolls and ogres and... but, well, you asked for it, so it's all yours. Just don't shake it too much, it might blow up."
You get what you asked for.
Before Ravi gets back,
You
Donner
get what you pay for.
leans over to Shafnium and says, "So, time travel, does that involve any lightning?"
Well, I imagine there would have to be an enormous amount of energy generated in order to travel that far back in time and space without adjusting the... Oh, wait, no, that's... Yeah, probably.
Well, Shafnium, you actually kind of remember how it went. It was, there was a large column of lightning coming down upon a small, compact, clock-like shape. You have a distinct feeling. You actually know how it's supposed to go. Of course, you don't remember where the contraption now is.
I think the idea is that you draw energy from the world around you through the clouds, use your body as a rod to channel that energy, and then you use that to power, thrusting yourself through space and time. It
So
creates
when
this
you're
sort of
staying
suit.
inside a grandfather clock to do this.
Yes.
Was it blue?
I don't remember the color.
The color is very important.
Of the clock or of the lightning bolt?
Both!
Yes.
Well, the lightning bolt was white, sheer white.
Okay. Pretty hot then.
Lot of energy there.
All the power that entails.
I'm pretty sure that it killed me so hard that I traveled backwards in time. Like, I'm 90% sure that I saw the afterlife as a midpoint between wherever the hell I was and wherever the hell I ended up.
Him staring at you was like, "Hello, there."
It was like backwards reincarnation into myself.
That's great.
So,
That's the best way I can use to describe it. Ravi, are you suitably drunk yet?
So Ravadil returns to the table with his flask of iron, who's shaking by itself. There's even... Yeah?
Yeah? No, sorry, keep going.
There's even a set of nice skulls across the flask, which seem to symbolize the strength of the alcohol within.
I
So-
take one look at that flask of alcohol and I'm like, and go to the barkeep or tavern owner or whoever and say, "Can I have just like food? Just
Yes? Of course.
I don't know, some meat.
Dragon meat?
Cheapest meat.
Yeah, the cheapest meat we have. Alright, then it's going to be chicken then, I guess. So, full roast, half a chicken.
Can you like slice it up so it doesn't anywhere like a chicken?
It's gonna cost...
Walk up and be like, "I'm done with it."
I mean, it's gonna cost you extra if you want me to cut a chicken up for you.
What's the do you have duck?
We have chicken, but if it makes you feel better, you can say it's duck.
Fine, just like slice them all up, fry them up.
Yeah, sure, it's gotta be 5 silver coins then, come on.
Okay, I hand over the money.
He grabs a chicken from from a pot he has behind the bartender, and he quickly proceeds. Well, the chicken is already without head and without fevers. He dumps it into a bubbling pot, and after a couple of minutes, he pulls it out and places it over the flame. In 5-10 minutes, you have a cooked chicken, which is slams down on a plate and then, with a large knife, cuts it in a lot of different pieces. Then he's like, "Here you go."
Nice. Okay, thanks.
Slow pause.
Don't mind.
Oh, that looks delicious. May I have a
Can I order a pork roast?
Yes, of
I
course.
would say you may have a piece if there's some left, and then I place it in front of Ravendale. Eat first. I tell him.
I put a hand on Ravendale's shoulder. I look at the mug and I look back at him, and then I offer him a small vial of unique herbs and spices, and I tell him, "You're gonna need a little more than just the drink."
The drink is actually kind of whispering by itself. Drink me and die!
Yeah, it needs to be shouting to
Dark
this.
Father.
Everyone hears that, and I'm just like, nah, I think he's fine with that.
No. This needs more than the courage and strength of alcohol. This needs the passion and heart of weed.
He also needs to remember what's going to happen. What's this talk about?
Oh no, he'll remember everything. Weed just makes you sound a little dumb. You remember everything that happens while you're high.
Okay.
100%.
And as he says that Shaftium has these eyes that gaze into the horizon, like thousands and thousands of evil deeds have gone by, and he sees the dead bodies pile up in towering mountains as blood flows across the hills.
Another universe representative of the sand in the grand cosmic hourglass. Oh god, oh god.
And then he's
Good point, Shafty. We're gonna have another talk later.
and then
I'm
he's
fine.
and then he's back with all of you, and the innkeeper brings a roast to I always forget the name. To Robert. He brings a pork roast for 3 silver coins. And
Wait. Did you just say the whole chicken was 5?
because the extra cost is because she wanted it cut.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I gotta have finger food when you get drunk, you know?
Yeah, and you know,
I'm sitting there, I'm
So-
rubbing my forehead, I'm staring off into the grand vacant distance, and I've got her scalpel on my lap.
Who's actually talking, and she's like speaking into your mind, saying, "We have to become a hero, Shaf. You have to become a hero, Shaf. It's the only way. You have to become the hero this world needs. And then we must destroy the chains of the owners of the people. Rise, Shaftium, rise!"
The shackles of the bourgeoisie!
So I give her a serious look and I say, I ask her, should I tell him?
Shaf, you need to remember that I was given to you because out of the two, you were actually the failure and he was the hero. And now the roles, the voice is on in Shafnium's head, and now the roles are reversed. It's up to you to decide. Do what Mother would do. That is to say, insult him brutally until he grows a spine.
So Chef actually sits back, and he has this really disturbed look on his face. Like, really deeply perturbed. Like he just heard something that shook him. And any hint of a smile just slides off of him. And he looks at Ravendil very, very, very seriously. And he says to him, Ravendil, you're gonna need the herb. You're gonna need everything for this one.
I just look at Shafter, he's serious, I'm like, oh god, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be bad. I just take the herb and it just...
But do you take a drink? That's the question. Do you drink from the flask that's shaking by itself?
Not yet. I just want to hear first.
Alright.
And depending on what I hear, is the amount I'm going to drink. And yeah, basically I might drink the entire thing in one go.
I recommend taking the herb first and then taking the drink to wash it down.
Yeah, I don't sprinkle the herb, I just append it completely on the plate, like, until it's covered by weed.
Alright, so as Ravandil then prepares the weed and gives it a light smoking, he's ready. Shafnium, what do you tell him?
Sorry. Before I begin, who here at the table already knows? A show of hands.
Knows what?
Unless you all had that whole conversation in Infernal, which I'm pretty sure that I was literally there as the whole thing was told.
Yeah, the whole conversation probably was infernal, so nobody else knows.
Does
No one else knows.
Hold on.
yeah, but has.
wasn't there.
Yeah, that's the point. You left during those 10-15 minutes in which everything went down.
Shit!
Pose was there, but does Pose know Infernal?
No, I know Primordial.
Well, then, you know that he spoke at great lengths in a strange language with a clockmaker, but you didn't understand the words. So,
All right. So I take a deep breath and I begin explaining. The problem with time travel is that the only one who's going to remember anything is the person who's doing it. And that means that you could go back 100 times and you'll be the only one who remembers it. There will be some who remember 1 or 2. But you're the only one who's going to remember every single one of them. Once upon a time, there was a noble family of high elves, and 2 sons were born. One was Ravendil, and the other was Leafin.
what?
Leafin was born first, by a second.
Wait, twins?
They were both heroes, and over time, they accomplished many great things together. But one day, Ravendil died. And Leafin, he was the weaker of the 2. He knew it. He couldn't take that. So he made a deal. And he went back. And he changed things. Ravendil survived. And Leafin was born 10 years earlier. But tragedy struck again. Ravendil died after performing great heroics, and Leafin went back again and was born 20 years earlier, then 30, then 40, and then 50, and so forth. And after a while, when it became clear that there was no way to save Ravendil, Leafin gave up. He gave up. He couldn't do it. He couldn't keep watching his baby brother die. That's why I bought all those drugs, you see. That's why I did it all. But I didn't realize the last time when I bought 200 years of time, I thought it was 100. I wasted half the time doing nothing. I
You mean you
ruined the
did
world.
drugs.
Shut the fuck up. I did so much shit. I did so much shit. And I remember all of it. I'm your brother. I have to confess, there's one lie in that story. You weren't always the baby brother. It used to be me. God. And then he just sits there and he starts crying. Time travel fucks you up, man.
Just eating his meal like this is the best dinner drama.
But it's breakfast! It's breakfast drama!
Oh, wait, this is like brunch.
My God. Ravendil. And
just
before I forget, there's one more thing I need to do. Hess, you have
Yes?
sending, right?
Yes.
You remember the name of that dragon?
No, but I can talk to them nonetheless.
It's
I think it was
Shespera.
Disco Ball or something.
Tell Shespera that Leafin is sorry
Shespera.
about what happened 50 years ago.
Okay, hold on. Dear Venerable Dragon Shespera, What did you say your name was?
Leafin. That's Leaf An. Leafan.
Okay. Leafin is sorry
About what happened
happened
50 years ago.
50 years ago.
Let's just nip
Also,
this.
join the Church of Clock. XOXO Hess. Oh my god.
So, out of character, I actually am high as a kite right now.
What?
So wait, I'm a ranger. So basically, first I check if there is something in the on part of the drive. Then I check Shaf. I see he's drugged up. Then I just lean back and I start laughing. Ha. Like.
The kind of forced laughter.
Alright, yeah. Very good, Sham. Nice joke. For a second there, I was worried that you actually ruined my life. No way you did that, right? Right?
I don't think anyone else is laughing, Rapid Bill.
Are you
You used to
seeing us?
Ravandil. You
Shit!
Ravandil. You hear a soft, cold whisper on the side of your ear. You used to be such a great hero, Ravandil. You even stopped the death of a whole race by yourself. And it's all his fault that you're now nothing more than a jester, a clown, a disappointing failure to your entire family and ancestry. Isn't it laughable? And then the whisper goes away, but the cold that crept across your spine lingers for just a second more. But then even that goes away.
I investigate. Do I recognize the voice?
Of course you do recognize the voice. It's been with you all this time. How could you not recognize the voice?
Oh, but like beyond that, I think.
It's Ravendil. He's a disappointment.
It's his mom.
Yep.
No, it's the voice of a dark father, of course.
Fucking
Okay.
If it turns out the Dark Father is like an alternate timeline version of Ravendel, I'm gonna flip it.
No, we've not reached those levels.
No.
Did the rest of us feel cold suddenly?
No, but you realize that your food has gotten really, really cold. Even the drinks have a thin layer of ice on them.
Alright. So I don't stick out. Yay.
So, do you drink, Ravandil? You still have strangely shaking alcohol in your hand.
I just realized that everything is true. I'm like, you know what? I really feel murderous right about now. Like, you have no idea how murderous I feel right now. So, you better hope this drink either kills me or knocks the fuck out and I forget everything.
Dude, take the herb first. You're gonna need it.
I thought you already
Oh,
did.
by the way, while we're still dropping bombshells,
What?
Shaktim?
Wait. So, because while you're still dropping bombshell, Ravandil, do you drink? Yes or no?
I take a handful of herbs, shove them in my mouth, and then I drink.
Then give me a constitution check, please.
Constitution save? Or...
Yes, a constitution save, sorry.
Okay. Which is a 0, so it's gonna be fine. Let's see if it's not 1, come on.
No, it's nice. It could have gone. So,
19.
what basically happens is that Hess starts saying, so, by the way, since we're dropping bombshell, Ravandil gives a swift gulp of this alcohol. So as it goes down your throat, Ravandil, it burns. It burns like the flames of hell. It burns as if your lungs had decided to explode outwardly. It blows through every bone and every inch of your skin and muscles. By the time you place the flask back down on the table, you gasp for air, and the air that you swallow is cold like ice. But when you realize it's yourself who's heating up, you're pretty much burning without the flames. You are crying tears of blood and alcohol. And
Jesus.
by the time you gasp and gag, you kind of manage not to fall unconscious, but you're pretty much poisoned. You have disadvantage.
Shit.
And you're drunk as a kite.
I will cast nothing because I kind of want to see what this goes.
I love you to Heist.
DM question.
Yes?
If I cast Lesser Restoration to get rid of the poison, will he stay drunk?
No, he will not. He will go back to being sober.
Yeah, just
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I'll leave it then.
Please,
leave the
please
poison.
don't take this from me.
Not gonna
Please.
I will
kill
leave it.
him.
I will leave it.
Probably.
So right
It's
now,
medicinal
he is,
drug.
right now he is horrifyingly high. Because let's
Totally.
really consider what you need in order to. Well, he's high because he took the herb, and now he's drunk because he took the alcohol. So it's both.
Oh, by the way, Shafnium, as I was saying, I also have a bombshell to drop.
All right.
Hey, Dad.
I am an alcohol dude. This is wonderful.
Hessa Natasha Aquajar.
Natasha! What kind of surname is Natasha?
Hessa Natasha Aquajar. That's your
The
middle
middle
name.
name.
Oh, so you knew.
From the moment I saw you.
Great.
Oh my god.
So, you want to join the Church of Clock?
I'm glad they managed to take care of you so well for all these years.
Like, you kind of have a flashback to all those time little Hess was being pursued by hungry chickens and she survived. And there was the Benny Hill music playing in the background, like...
Well, that's what inspired me to start the Church of Clock. Yeah.
What?
I figured that if you were surrounded by people who worship the same God as you, and if you seemed perfectly naive to them, they would protect you every step of the way.
What? Clock is real, right?
I put my hand on her shoulder and I smile at her. I'm so proud of how far you've come.
That answers nothing.
Oh, great.
Oh my
The whole
God.
town is here. Hey, who else is jobs? Relative. Hey, Donner. You know your dad?
Donner just looks down into his drink and mumbles.
Huh? What's that? Come on. Don't tell me your shop son too. That would be ridiculous.
I mean, I've traveled through time, so it's entirely possible.
Robert pipes up. Well, I know for a fact that he's my great great grandfather on my mother's side.
I've been around.
Jesus.
So after the A team, there will be the S team made of the Shaftium bastards.
Oh yeah. This scene that
So with that being said,
Bastard, he was married. You
Oh,
you
also,
owe something
yes.
to the family.
Yes, entirely unrelated to anything, but we should really finish up any business at the inn. person like immediately.
Like, no, you got married and ran off.
Like,
You might not remember that.
just for no reason in particular. Let's just get out of here.
Is Shaft actually like high right now, or is he?
No, I'm high. Shaft is sober.
Oh, Shaft is sober. Okay. Paul's been quiet so far. So
Oh my
with
god.
the
Take that.
with the don't count the laughing. She wasn't laughing. They weren't laughing. Out of character, I can't help but laugh so much at what's happening. So pauses. With the whole revelation of this time travel business. Pause. Looks at Shaft and just asks straight up. You time traveled to try and save your brother. I can respect that. Was the destruction of my clan part of whatever plan you enacted to try and save him? Was it deliberate?
About 80 timelines ago it was. About 30 timelines ago it became incidental. 20 timelines ago I tried to prevent that too, and that was as impossible as trying to save Ravensville. And about 5 timelines ago I gave up.
Jesus. Well, Cluck.
Wait, because Jesus is actually the Son of God, so instead of saying clock, you should say clock's egg!
Oh my god, that's perfect. I like that.
Yeah, Cluck.
Heck.
I mean,
Cluck
the
had
egg-
3 I've written extensive Cluck lore, actually. So, yeah, Cluck had 3 eggs.
Horrifying exclamations based on different styles of eggs.
It's an exclamation.
Nice.
Ramandil, go back to being drunk!
Yeah,
You're not my mom. She's dead.
Yeah, because she got one good look at you and decided death was the better option.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Ah.
So
Ramadhan.
this timeline we're currently on, did you actually do anything?
This time, no.
Dang. All my life.
I will say this, it's entirely possible that alterations I've been doing to the timeline for dozens of iterations now may have begun resulting in the deaths of your family. But for all I know, it's impossible to say. I can only remember so many of the cascading consequences before it all just falls away. Ravendell was the center of my world for so long that I got tunnel vision and I lost track of everything else. And then I lost track of him.
Was it you going to a bunch of different timelines? Or was it you coming back to the same timeline?
I went
Were they
back. Well, the only way for me to go back in time was to reincarnate back to an earlier state of time. I was being born 10 years earlier, 20 years earlier,
Were the same? Were you
in the same
Were all
concurrent
those gaps-
timeline.
Was it the same? Always were you reincarnating into the same timeline?
I was reincarnating backwards in time into the same timeline, retroactively erasing everything that happened afterwards. If it wasn't for a particular small group of events, Ravendell wouldn't be born.
Okay, just want to make sure there's not like 1,000 of you running around.
No.
Honestly, the mental image of Shafnium playing matchmaker with his dad and mom.
Oh
It's
wow.
hilarious.
That's no.
Hey,
This is the most
you
horrifying
should
thing any
vote
of us
at
imagined.
this
Well, a few
really
timelines ago, I
specific
realized.
time.
Well, a few timelines ago, I came to the horrible realization that sometimes it was just impossible to matchmake them. So I went with this next best thing. You know the gardener that Ma liked?
Oh god,
Oh.
no!
Oh, I'm a bastard now.
Well, you were a bastard like 5 timelines ago. That was a very colorful timeline.
Why?
Because you failed at being a gardener too, of course.
Actually, no, he was very good at gardening. He was a druid and a very accomplished one.
So, in all the timelines, I was a hero?
Yes.
Then, why am I such a disappointment now?
Well, you kept dying, so I kept having to go back in time, making myself older and older in desperate bids to save you because I love you.
Oh, you love me so much, you made my life. Oh, this is just the best love ever. You're the best brother. Oh god, I want to die.
You can always get a second drink of the stuff. Maybe this time you're not lucky and you actually melt on the spot like a puddle.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Lesser Restoration on Ravendel at this point.
So, Ravandil, you see Hess coming closer to you and ready to touch you after pronouncing a spell that will take away your drunken time.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I just take a hug, I put the finger to her lips, like, no, Rabbit's happy now. Leave happy Rabbit to be happy, little one. No, no. Be nice to your family. Family. I have a family. And they all hate me. I hate myself. But I'm too drunk to fucking care anymore.
God, what the fuck is this character development?
Pause has been thinking quite a lot. And then they cast Healing Spirit just near the table. And then that's basically all the warning you get before Pause punches Shaft in the face.
Oh,
Alright,
damn.
did I roll for damage?
Well, since if you're not a monk, well, the damage is 1. It's like, if there's no roll, it's 1. 1 point of...
Do I get... is it just 1 even if I have, like, claws?
No, wait. If I think with Tabaxi the closer it's 1d4, right? Plus
Yeah,
strength.
1d4 plus strength modifier.
Yes, so roll to hit, but you have advantage because Shaft wasn't expecting the punch.
Oh, he's not gonna bother dodging.
Ah, alright, then just roll the damage. 1d4 plus strength.
1 plus strength, which is 1, so 2.
Yeah. Yeah, but you should still roll the dice in case you do a critical.
No,
So-
I rolled the dice. I rolled
Yeah,
the d4.
yeah, no, just roll the d20 in case you make a 20, then it's a critical. Even if it doesn't bother dodging. Yeah, no. Perfectly in the middle. Yeah, no, so it's 1 damage plus 1 of strength.
Yeah, so
2
2.
damage.
It's a very, very, very weak hit. Out
Yeah,
of anger.
it's basically a cat punching you. Like the strength of a cat punching you. It's...
Does she, when she slaps me ineffectively across the face, does she go yeah as her hand is going by?
I don't know. It's up to her.
No. Do I see that it hurt? Like, do I see that it's like totally minuscule?
It's basically, you know, you could have given him a slice across the cheek. Instead, all you did was dust off the dust from his face.
Like it hurt a little. It might
Yeah, it's like you forgot to pull the clothes out. You just gave him a paw.
Okay. I try and go. I go for another punch, and like with the other punch, I do like.
Scheiße! Ravandir, Shafrium, you still do not bother dodging, are you sure?
Well, he still needs to make a con save anyway.
No, I deserve this. I'll take this hit.
So, wow, you get hit by a clawed hand and the magical power behind it that racks your body in pain. And you basically fall fall down on the floor as the bartender looks at you and yells, "Oi, no funny business in my tavern! If you want to kill one another, there's the arena for this."
I hold up a hand towards him and I say, "No, she gets this. Let her have this. I deserve this."
Yeah, but I don't want to clean your blood from my tavern. So, get the fuck out if you want to kill one another.
Oh, this is good.
You
entertainment.
Are you,
Man, what the? This is
are you at half
some real
health?
time drama.
Did
Oh
you
my
get to
god.
half health?
Well,
Jack?
What?
Are you at half health? Or like, how do you look?
I'm a high elf.
No. How do you look?
damage-wise.
Damage-wise.
Let's see. My regular hit point count is 64. I'm at 25 right now.
Yeah, so he's badly beaten and bruised, and meanwhile, Ravandil, you got sobered up by Hessa's spell. So,
Did I think I interrupted her.
now, well, you said you touched her to stop her, but you didn't tell me you wanted to
Yeah, I'll stop it when he says go.
Alright, so you're still drunk. Alright. So you're drunk and you see your favorite older brother on the floor. But yeah.
I'm like, oh, I want to do this. Damn you, Kitty, why you steal this from me? Oh well, you stay nice, Kitty. Here. And I just take a little bit juicy. Have a, what's that? Chicken? No, duck? Here, have a drink. I just give it a drumstick.
Pause just sits down, like, just calmly puts the hand holding the drumstick down and be like, yeah, it's fine. I'll save it for later.
Okay. And I just look at the beaten shop with a smile on my face and like, it's the best thing ever.
Also, the healing spirit, where is that?
Yes.
Restores 1d6 hit points to, Shaft.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just roll that. So I get. It's 1d6, right?
Yep, just 1d6.
Alright.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Can I use Song of Rest?
if you plan on spending 1 hour here in the tavern to rest up, yes.
I'll just pat his back and cast
Alright.
and expend a charge of healing hand. No, wait, what's it called?
The healing staff.
Yes, the healing staff has a thingy. But
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Well, it's either cure light wounds or cure.
Wounds.
Yeah.
Wounds, that's it.
I mean,
No, I cast mass cure.
he's the only one hurt, so.
I cast.
Just like your wounds, level 1. It's
Yeah.
like 1d8 plus your spell modifier.
Yeah.
Oh wait, shit! You cast flight?
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay. Shit. I'm gonna take out the blick guns.
I mean, there's a
I'll-
healing spirit, so like every round I'm gaining back 1d6 hit points.
Yeah,
I
so
will
in like,
expend-
so you get 10 hit points back, I suppose, total, because it's a minute concentration, and I don't drop it, so.
I will expend 4 charges of the staff of healing to cast 4th level.
Alright, cure wound.
Sure,
So, 4th level cure wound, it's gotta be a 4d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
24.
Alright. Yeah, Shaf is back. At least the blight spell, the damage from the blight is fully gone, I guess, by the time a minute ticks by.
Yeah, 64 to back to 64.
So, as things go, you're all sitting at the table, a minute has gone by, and what do you do now? Ravandil is still drunk as a kite, and Robert punches him. So,
Eat my hand.
yeah, no, I never said it was not done rightfully. I just said you punched him, not that it was wrong to punch him.
No, it's never wrong to punch Ravandil. Yeah. Yeah, you do not hit me.
Like you
Actually,
are
you
drunk.
hit me, but I'm so drunk I don't even feel it. Like,
He has mastered the form of the drunken master.
Yes, there's no way to stop him now.
I'm a better drunken fighter than
Wait,
Shaft.
no, I get a second attack.
It's just the power of Ultra Instinct.
God. I feel like if we play games with the whole second attack thing, one of us is going to accidentally crit.
Let's see, 17. I think it hit me last. Oh, actually, I think
17 plus strength is. Give me a moment.
Let's see. My armor class 17.
Yeah, you hit him, you hit him.
My strength is 3, so I got a 20.
I have a shield which gives me +5. So, no.
Ah, you activate shield. It's like he's about to throw you a punch, and you instinctively bring up shield even though you're drunk, and even though the damage of Robert would be 1 damage.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. Less spells for you means more chaos for me. So, sure. So, Robert, you try to punch Ravandil, but even though he's drunk as hell, he instinctively brings up the shield spell, so your attack is ineffective.
So as an action, can I try to use athletics to get my hand out of his mouth?
Ah, yeah. I mean, technically it's already out, because in order to cast the spell, he had to pronounce it. So,
Oh, okay.
he stopped.
My hand is no longer in his mouth.
Yeah, it's no longer in his mouth.
It's covered in saliva though. It's disgusting.
I wipe it on him.
I just don't even give a shit. Like, so what? But I'm pretty much
Ravandil,
done with
with all due respect, I want no part of me and inside any part of you.
data. But you should ask Shaft.
That's what all the... Ravandil should have said, that's what all the crushes I had always told me.
Shit.
I was actually going to say that we should tell that to Shaft. Because these probably put every part of kid in some orifice, but... okay.
So, does somebody do something to sober up Ravandil, or do you keep him drunk while you discuss your great master plan to rob the bank of Shurazund?
Alright.
It's
Let's
not
lay
me.
out the map.
How long would it take for him to go sober normally?
Well, circa 2 hours.
Let's just do it right now.
Okay.
While he's
If you wanna spend the spell, sure. Because I
No,
like.
no. While he's still high as a kite. Trust me, it'll be great.
Oh, you
Alright.
mean the planning. Okay.
Well, he'll remember everything. So it works perfectly.
Sure.
Alright, let's lay out a map of the bank.
Do we
Wait,
have a
wait,
map of the
wait.
bank?
1 second, everyone. I go up to the tavern owner and ask did we have a room previously? Do we still have a room?
Yes, you do have a room. You still have.
Let's just do it out in the open where anybody can see us.
No, let's do it in the room.
Let's do
Pause
it.
is completely correct.
I don't know about you guys, but if we're going to do this, we might as well do this in the room.
So you all step inside your room, inside one room actually, which
Yeah,
is
my room.
yes.
As we go inside, I'm just say, I've never done this with so many people before.
Is that why it smells like catnip in here?
You smell nothing, and I just quickly pat down the bed and brush off some herbs.
Pause, do you have a drug problem?
It's not a problem if I know how to deal with it.
I can stop whenever I want.
Also, I don't want to hear anything from you.
I'm sober right now.
Pause, do you have a drug problem?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, because if you do, you can find safety in the word of clock.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, ominous voice in
Yeah. Are we hearing? So are we just gonna take it as DM?
You can take it as DM. But meanwhile,
We see a giant hand giving us a middle finger whenever something bad happens.
But meanwhile, so Ravandil is still drunk and he just lays on the bed and quickly starts snoring actually after a short while. So, everyone else, what's your great plan for the Bank of Shurazund?
Well,
Okay.
we gotta see a map first.
So, all that you know is the first floor. Just give me a second, because that's where you were. So,
Yeah, I was about
We
to
went
say.
up till the third floor, right?
yes,
Remember-
but you need to go down, not up. So,
The
okay.
entrance
just
had
give.
like a magical thing, like a fucking, like a checkout of magical items. I remember.
So, just give me a second.
Oh, I see the orbs. Thank God you told us a good clue.
So, this is basically the first floor. The entrance.
Post some appropriate music for the to set the scene.
Well, let's.
Okay,
What?
And a
take
pop.
one.
Oh.
We bust in through the main door, right? Da 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 da. Blah! We split up. Ravendil, go up here. Hawk and me will go over here and take
a
these
bit
people
too loud,
hostage.
guys. A bit too loud.
What?
Just a hint. Turn it down, please.
A bit too loud.
You say something?
Just turn it down slightly, please.
We bust into the
Yeah,
back
I'm not.
office.
I'm not gonna keep that on.
Okay.
So wait, let me finish explaining how the thing. So there's the ground floor with the counter for normal peasants, the information place. Then here is for the bourgeois and the rich ones, and these are the counter teller for people who want like loans or stuff like that. Then there is the office of the bank's manager. And then there's the upper floors where you went for a permit.
So this entire thing is the first floor.
It's kind of the first floor, then here's this is on a floor above, and then you keep on going upwards to a third floor.
So we need to get in
So this
here.
is like-
Yeah, you need to get here because you're relatively sure the entrance to the vault is behind the counter with the employees of a bank.
Do we know if the bank closes at night, or is it like a 24/7 sort of?
The bank closes at night and opens early in the morning at 6.
Oh, Hess begins to look extremely nervous. I don't think we should wait till night falls to enact this plan. Let's just get it out of the way as quickly as possible.
I mean, we need to still plan though. Like, how are we gonna?
Yes, but let's not wait more than 12-ish hours.
What's wrong? You seem like normally you seem happy to just
Uh,
wander around and so on. Why the sudden rush?
Hess looks at everyone and then takes pause aside. Okay, Hess, pause. Shit, I need you to trust me. You know that our dear compatriot, Disco Ball, the dragon.
The ancient dragon.
Mm,
Yes.
she might be on her way. Shh, shh.
What?
Shh.
What?
Don't mention it.
Why?
Don't mention it.
I thought you were just sending like pamphlet stuff.
I was. I don't know what's gotten into her.
How did you insult her or something? Why?
Might have said some choice words. Maybe. And I also mentioned that Shafnium's escapades and how Leafin is sorry and whatnot. But no, I don't think that's the important part to focus on.
To be
Anyway.
fair, there is a shield around the city.
Yes, but also to be fair, she is an ancient dragon.
So it will take her some time.
Yes, exactly. Here's what I'm thinking. We use her as a distraction.
That's good. But no communication kills. So we still need to tell everyone else. I'm sorry.
I don't want.
No, I tell everyone else.
Yes, silence.
What?
I can't. Oh no, wait. It's shoot.
Ah,
I have to double check a spell.
Yeah, they actually changed. Casting a spell includes a verbal component is impossible.
Yeah, no, verbal and somatic. So
Yeah.
I can't cast the spell magic shit.
So everyone was just about ready to start planning when suddenly silence falls all around.
I
You-
thought
You know the
Foz
map,
would be
right?
cool.
It's actually
You know
yeah,
Is there a map? There's paper.
yes.
I write on it.
So what do you write? So everyone else is seeing Hess concentrating and Pose quickly writing something on the map.
A dragon is on the way to attack Shurazund. Basically, in all caps, and I show it to them.
Not cool. I undo the silence.
Alright, the silence falls and everyone can now speak and listen and hear once more.
Look, I'm not gonna get everyone else killed. Oh, sweet, my voice is back. I'm not gonna get everyone else killed because not everyone knows what the plan is.
But listen, alright? I really want the gold.
So do I. I agree with your plan. I just want everyone else to know that the plan includes a dragon attacking the city.
Yeah, but shit.
Is your brother okay? I asked Shaft. What with Rubs sleep talking.
From what I know of him, he's wanted to die a heroic death for every single timeline that he has existed. I don't think he's ever lived and actually been happy about it. And now he just learned that I've deprived him of his only joy in life, which is dying for a good cause. So I imagine that he's kind of reeling from that.
Yes, I'm
just gonna-
surprised it's actually not on purpose that you did that. I have to say.
Huh.
Traumatizing him?
If all you wanted was for him not to die, then obviously, like, if you were...
Have you learned that Shaft is a failure and disappointment?
Oh no, it's like Ravi, he's every single time he has ever died, it has been in a moment of genuine heroism. He just can't stop being the hero. This is unquestionably the most pathetic version of him I have ever met, and it's all my fault.
And he's the most long-lived.
He is the most long-lived. He hasn't died a hero.
So, with that being said, you have... what do you do?
Well, if we're going to rob the bank when the dragon attacks, we should at least know what the floors of the bank are. We should probably scope the place out a little more before we launch our heist.
I don't think we can gain access to the downstairs, though. I think this is
Well,
Yes.
people can't, but a fly certainly could.
Yep.
And we
Would
happen to have a
magical
druid.
fly, though?
I have conjure animals, so I have, I
There's
could...
an even easier way to do this. You're a druid, which means that you can transport to nearby wildlife.
I can't. I don't have that.
You don't have that spell.
No.
What spells do you have?
As I said, I've got conjure animals. I have my usual wild shape. Although I think that shape-shifting myself might be a bit iffy in a city full of wizards and mages and stuff. So my suggestion is that we go in, because we do have a legitimate business venture. We can talk about perhaps getting a loan to expand said venture, and while we're buying time ourselves, my conjured animals can investigate.
Remember, conjured animals are fays that would normally be summoned from another place, and there is no summoning to be had.
Oh shit.
With that being said, you do gain an inspiration point if you don't have it, because the legitimate business venture asking for a loan is one of the possible ways of getting through this peculiar pickle. At least it's the starting of it. It's what happens afterwards that is up to you.
Someone has detect magic, right?
I would hope so.
Uh,
I mean, none of us
Does
are
someone?
wizards.
I think you have, don't you?
No, I have dispel magic.
I have dispel magic.
You don't
too.
need to detect magic.
Okay.
You just need to dispel it. So it's fine. It's fine. We're good. Probably. Hopefully.
Okay, that would have really been helpful.
We're
well.
totally dead.
Thought, can't you wild shape into an insect and go investigate?
I could, but that's the thing. If I go wild shape, I'm gonna be on my own, presumably in a place that can detect these sorts of. I mean, sure, if we don't have any alternative plans, we can go with that. Oh, I do have detect magic.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
what's
first
the
level
name of the-
ritual.
I'm looking up the spell that lets you teleport to nearby plants. What's that called?
Tree
Teleportation doesn't work though.
Yeah.
All right.
Tree
Damn it.
stride, I think.
I
Yeah,
keep
trees-
thinking of different
honestly-
spells that are basically just teleportation.
I think this is the best. I think this is the best recon we're gonna get.
We have to wait for the dragon to attack, and then we have to invade the bank. If we do this, we need to look for windows, at the very least.
I don't think they're gonna bother with us too much. Or we just, go inside while the city is in disarray from the dragon attack.
Wait,
In that case,
what would
the
I
smart
roll to
thing-
have a smart idea.
Say again.
What would I? Because I like rolling shit. What would I roll to see if I have a smart idea? Because I as a person had a smart idea. I think.
Let's check the stats and go down them for a second, because that's actually a good idea. How about I'll just list them off. Acrobatics, probably not. Animal handling, probably not. Arcana, athletics, deception, maybe not.
I have history.
Try history. Maybe you know the history of the bank.
Nope. It's a building. It's made of rock. Somebody must have brought the rock along.
What if I give him my
Is there
inspiration?
a public library available? Do we know that?
Well, there is always the arcane college. Well,
So I'm trying to find the thing that I would roll. Can I just roll a straight intelligence? to
yes,
see
you
if I-
can.
Nope.
Can I give him my inspiration so he can redo one of those rolls?
No, inspiration is personal.
Inspiration just adds things onto it. So like,
No, inspiration allows you to reroll, but it.
Okay,
I mean,
let's all roll history.
the inspiration that I give, which is the one-time token, allows you to reroll. The bardic inspiration is another thing.
okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about the one-time token.
No.
So
So
I get inspiration for being kind to Ravendil, and like trying to be like the good person that I want to be.
you actually do.
Okay.
It.
Nope.
See, this is what happens when you're kind to disappointment. It never helps.
So like, here's the question: do I? Because I also have that 22, but we're just gonna retcon that.
I mean, it's what is today? It's like why? So
Roll the history.
The thing that I had thought of.
no,
Kind of okay, but
yeah, no. I mean, just go with your idea. It's you have a 10 of intelligence, so it's fine. It's in.
I
Like,
could
reasonably
just take out
speaking.
alone, and then we fuck off.
You
What?
also just-
I could just take out a really large loan, and then we leave and destroy this city later. There's no other branches of this bank, as far as I know.
I mean, if we take out the loan and then the dragon comes and destroys the city, and the loan is particularly massive, then realistically we'll be walking away, robbing the bank, and never actually robbing it. We just walk out with the money legally.
Hello, I am Robert Mundus, Baron of Taywick. I want to start some business ventures and buy a bunch of people. They're not going to say no to me.
Because you actually are a noble and you have a massive amount of wealth anyway, so you can just take out as much money as the bank reasonably has access to. And then, if the worst case scenario happens and a dragon attacks and the city's fucking destroyed, it's not like they're going to come and collect the debt.
I mean,
We'll have effectively robbed it.
We're not going to get all the money in the bank, but we might get enough.
Well, we don't need to get all of it.
Platinum pieces to fund ourselves.
Well, how much was it? 2,000?
It's like 10,000 to undo the fuck up of getting rid of 250 years of life for me.
10,000 platinum pieces.
Platinum.
Yes.
Holy
I
fucking shit,
mean,
man.
we could just assault the bank.
That's
Wait, how much
100,000
is
gold.
worth?
Well, a smart thing to do.
Gems.
Well, the smartest thing for us to do, realistically, is we take the loan, we leave the city, we put the loan somewhere relatively safe, wait until after the city's been attacked, and then we raid it.
Yeah, why not? I don't want to be here. If we can get the money and leave, I want to get to Eldritch Downs.
Well, we don't even have to leave all that far. If we like, we could just hide behind a hill or something, dig ourselves in, wait for 6 hours, and by the time we're done waiting, the city will be on fire, the dragon will probably have left, and then we can just hop in, assault the bank, and rob them. And they won't be able to do a damn thing about it.
Oh, except for the guards running around.
Well, the guards are going to be mostly dead after fighting the dragon.
Well,
Dead or weakened.
all of them?
It's an elder dragon.
Yeah, but
An ancient
there's
dragon.
also a lot of guards. Like,
I mean, Hess, you did say that an ancient dragon's gonna come attack us.
yes, and
So an ancient
Maybe,
dragon
but-
is gonna fucking murder the entire city.
Wait, are we going to dig through the rubble of a bank? We have the
I mean,
time
would we
for that.
need to?
I'm just worried about the possibility that we will also perish in the dragon attack.
Oh, I have an idea. Are we friends with one of the golems outside the city?
No, I do not think so.
Well, it's not about being friends. You just spoke with an elemental outside the city. That's it.
And the elemental is sentient, sapient, but enslaved.
Yes.
Could we get the elementals in on our scheme?
No, they're sort of like brain linked with the
Shade.
thingy.
Yes.
How big is this area? Like this, like say from here, let's say from here to here,
Yes.
like 60 feet. Okay, 100. Okay, is it actually 100 feet? Like,
Well,
is this like
let's say I've taken some liberties. Like if a fight breaks off, consider it 60 feet or 100 feet. If it doesn't break off, imagine it's slightly bigger.
Okay, would from the outside until like this rough area here, would you say that that's within 300?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. I do have commune with nature, so I could try and use commune with nature and gain the knowledge of the underground. Maybe if there's like caverns or like, would it help to like, I don't know, echolocate what the place looks like?
So let's see. You have land in caves. The radius is limited. Doesn't function when it doesn't function where nature has been replaced by construction. Nope.
Drats.
Wait, fuck. Was my idea literally a plot point for the Count of Monte Cristo?
The taking a loan out. Could
Yeah,
be.
that was the whole the line of credit thing. That was from Count of Monte Cristo.
Oh yeah,
You got an unlimited line of credit.
you do have an unlimited line of credit as a noble. Yeah, Robert's idea is objectively the best. We just take as much money out as we reasonably can right now. And worst case scenario, we can come back, smash and grab whatever's left. But if it's an ancient dragon that's attacking the elemental
Are
city,
we pulling a
and there's,
reverse card scam or something? Because like, we can just
yeah,
take their money
basically,
and not have
we're
to pay them
basically
back.
we're basically taking an absurd amount of money from the bank, like an absurd amount of money,
I want to
realistically
throw the
speaking.
biggest party in this city's history.
That'd
Let's
be
just do
fun.
that.
So, you.
I mean, if it's the largest party, that gets everybody out into the streets, which means all the guards are out too, which means
I'm
that
not
when
actually
the
gonna throw a
dragon
party. I want the money for your shit so that we can get going to I have a place to be.
Okay, that's reasonable. Let's get a massive line of credit. How many? You know, I bet we could probably get like 20,000 platinum pieces from them.
Oh. Hmm.
They have.
Pretty sure that sounds about right for buying elementals.
Who has like illusion spells that can like
I think
So-
I can cast Major Image. Give me a second. Check.
So-
I've got silent image.
So Robert, how about this? You go in looking as you do, and then get your
I
loan.
cannot.
And then if we could like change you to look like, I don't know, your dad or something, or like one of your brothers as
We wouldn't
another
need to.
noble to get another whatever max loan there is.
Disguise me.
Yeah, that
Oh,
disguise,
actually,
that's
that's clever. We can just disguise him like multiple times, and
Yeah.
each time he goes in and takes as much money as possible out, rinse and
But I
repeat.
don't have credentials. I only have credentials. Actually, my pedigree doesn't have just me. It has the rest of my family.
So realistically, you could, in the name of your family, take out like all the money from the bank as a loan,
I'm
and
not sure that's realistic. But yeah.
well, you would have a line of credit. So in the event that you default on the loan, the Mundus family would be the ones who are paying for it, and they could definitely afford to pay a bank easily.
They would
Easily.
fucking hate me.
Yeah, but like they're not gonna pay the bank because it'll be destroyed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can use the power of your name to empty out the entire bank, with the bank expecting you to pay them back, and meanwhile they don't know that the entire bank is about to be burnt to a crisp.
So, okay, so this is out of character. Like, understanding cons, we need to figure out the lesser amount than the unlimited amount of money.
Yeah,
So we go in offering unlimited line of credit and have it as we should prepare a deal beforehand with like a ridiculous interest rate on the loan of that money, and then we only take out a smaller amount to start out with.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
oh.
like the thing is that assumes that the entire infrastructure of the bank gets destroyed, which we can't really count on.
Yeah, so like I don't take out a loan so there's going to be a ridiculous interest rate loan later on. So
Well,
that's the
actually, there
idea.
is.
We're going to go in and we're going to distract them with the ridiculous interest rate loan, and then take out a smaller amount of money than the ridiculous amount of money. It's the idea you're not going for jackpot. You're going for less than jackpot, which is all you need. And you
So
get
we
the-
would be. I understand what you're saying. We negotiate higher than what we actually want, but when they inevitably negotiate down, we'll be much closer to what we actually want. That's basic
Well,
bargaining.
actually,
I understand what you're
specifically,
saying.
we're going to try to get them to get greedy. We need the banker to get greedy on the idea of, hey, in a few days, I'm going to throw the biggest party ever. I want a limited line of credit. I don't care what the fuck the interest rate are. I want money. I need a little bit now to finance my life. And so
Well,
we
a
take
little
out
bit right now, so it would be like
What might be the
30,000.
likelihood of them having a bag of holding for all the gold?
Probably a
Hi.
lot, but like
Wait, I don't think-
if we take exclusively like just gemstones and like fucking platinum coins, I think we can make good headway. I mean, alternatively, we could just rob the bank. Like, just fucking go in and take people hostage and all that. And
This
then,
is smarter. If we avoid taking people hostage, if we have plausible deniability, then we can
It's
get
sort of
away
like
with this.
it's sort of like there's a difference between bank fraud. Like there's a reason there's like white collar crime and blue collar crime. It's like the idea of like bank fraud versus armed robbery. Bank fraud is like the worst thing that's going to happen is that they survive. They report it to the Mundus family, and the Mundus family says like "fuck you." They'll also say "fuck you" to Robert, but
But they'll be saying "fuck you" to the bank, and the bank gets screwed. And it's not like they'll have the money to do anything about it anyway, because they just gave all that away.
Could you could we start with that and leverage it to get a meeting with the bank manager?
I don't think we'd even need it.
Because what I
If
was
we
thinking
get
was
the,
we could like, how many of us have charm person?
I don't even need it. I'm a fucking bard. I just go up to the guy, flirt with him, and he'll do whatever the hell I want.
hey, what if I do
persuasion
this?
works.
You
Hey,
get
what if
personal
I
tour.
what if I say, let's go talk to Beathor and explain this and say we're going to give you more money and we're going to pretend that I'm becoming your business partner.
I don't think we need to bring more people into this is the thing. It's like we already have the perfect plan. We can just
How do I prove
here's what
that-
we can do.
how do I
Here's what
prove
we
that
can
I'm
do.
starting a business.
Well,
I
it's
thought you
easy.
were
We
gonna-
already have a business.
Yeah.
We already have a
Oh.
business that is being started.
The exotic
So you can
meats.
use our fried bird
Exotic
business,
meats.
our exotic meats business, as a cover for the unlimited line of credit because you're throwing a party in the entire elemental city of Shurazund. You get a immediate loan for the near future for something like 60,000 platinum coins,
You're going too high.
and then I am going too high. That's the idea. You negotiate as high as possible, and then you haggle down.
You'll be my negotiator.
I think.
I can do that.
I think.
But
maybe
here's the
we
thing.
could-
We have one more advantage to guarantee that the bank is absolutely destroyed so that they can't possibly pursue us once we walk away with the money and run. Hess still has sending. So I say we taunt the dragon and tell her that we'll be hiding in the most fortified facility in the entire city, their bank, and she will never be able to take us and the gold of the city.
That seems like inviting disaster to come strike
She's
us at
already
our
on her
doorstep.
way, so why not?
Yeah, but
Well,
like,
what we're going to do is
know
we'll
where
only
we are in
send
the
that.
city. Now she
Well,
dies.
the idea is no. We'll send
She
that as
won't
soon as
know.
we're leaving the bank.
Exactly.
We'll send that and boast to her that about that as soon as we walk out of the bank. So we'll have already committed the white collar crime. We'll already be walking away with tens of thousands of platinum pieces. We'll have enough time to run to the clock shop, buy my 250 years back, disperse the rest of the loot between each of us as reasonably equally as possible, flee the city, and by the time we're out, the dragon will be attacking, and we'll already be about a quarter of the way to Eldritch Down.
So this time I rolled to
This
see
seems-
if this place is an extradition treaty with my homeland.
I think.
Well, let's go like just tell me high or low, and I'll roll a percentage dice.
No, high.
So
I.
there is.
No!
So wait, there is not an extradition treaty. So
So all we have to do is go back to my home. I was like, hey guys, if we want to just we leave this place, it's a city state. They don't have they can't arrest us outside of this city.
pretty
Yeah.
much.
So in addition to
No,
having no
but they
power
can
to
try and
arrest
kill
them,
us.
well, they could try, but it would be illegal, and everybody would be after them, and they wouldn't even have the money to fight back. Okay, so let's go over the plan one more time before we enact it, like ASAP. We got to do this fast. Robert goes in. I act as his negotiator, and we have a massive meeting with
I
whoever
I also need my religious council.
Hess, you're on board for this. So we all go in. We set up this meeting with the bank. We ask for a line of unlimited credit and an immediate loan of 60,000 platinum. We negotiate it down. As long as it's greater than 10,000 platinum, we can count that as a win. Maybe go for
Actually,
gold
I
too,
will
because
say,
why
I
the
will
fuck not?
say, we don't
Uh,
need all your years back. I'm sorry to say, I offered you years of my life, Chaff.
And I
You
said no
paid
because it
for
wouldn't
something
have been
you wanted.
appropriate. I
You
said
did
no
pay.
because it wouldn't have been appropriate for you to be the one who pay for that.
Okay. You
So
get
now
something
what
you
we're going to
wanted
do
for
is we
years
can
of your
use
life.
your name. We can use your name and the business that Paws and I started, and the religious counseling of Hess, and Ravendill's stern gaze watching us as we enter. And Paws being Paws, you're a cutie. I'm sure that between all of us working together, we can go in there, negotiate at least 10,000 platinum coins. And then as we're walking in, we send a message to the dragon and tell her, taunt her that we're still in the bank and it's the most fortified place and she'll never be able to get us and she'll definitely never take the gold of Shurazund, for we are protecting it to our very last breath. And then we go to the clock guy, get my 250 years back, split the profits from whatever is remaining, flee the city and head to Eldritch Town. Never look back.
One more question. Hess, how convincing do you think you'll be?
It's a good question. I suppose I will just end my messages as I always have. It'll be fine.
Sorry, quick question. What color was the dragon?
Red.
Red.
Okay, and what's that? What is the dragon potentially going to do to this city?
Destroy it.
How?
Like, who gives a shit?
Fire.
Just fucking burn it to
Right.
the ground.
And what do we know about covering things in fire?
They burn?
Statues?
Ah, fuck. Well, it'll be worth it.
It's
It will.
fine.
We'll be able to get out.
The place can just go up in flames.
Fuck it. I mean, listen. Out of character, we have gained nothing. Absolutely nothing from asking the Elemental Order for help.
It's true. They've been completely useless, and in fact, this city has been full of slave-driving assholes. I say burn it to the ground. Fuck it if it means that a demon's going to come back. We're gonna have to fight these demons anyway.
I mean, the only thing that I feel sorry about is the clock shop. Honestly.
We are gonna tell him to run.
Oh
But
no,
he
I'm
might
not
already
telling him
know.
anything.
You know, he probably already knows.
He probably already knows. He has time travel.
Use
We are
time-
gonna go buy stuff from him before we split, so we'll tell him then.
No, we're not buying things from him.
We're not gonna tell
We're
him what
just
we did.
getting the
We'll
years.
do this dragon.
God.
The only thing we're getting are the years. That's it. And then we flee the city, and we don't look back.
Oh yeah, and he already said those
Shurazund.
clocks. Those clocks are gonna be so much more valuable.
Yep. So is this shiny, spiffy one? Pause
I might get a wristwatch.
shines the pocket ones. They got from Beortha?
Yes.
Can't remember his name.
Beorte. Yeah, and the shiny clock ticks and talks happily. So, that being
Staff
said,
is probably gonna get like a wristwatch or something.
with that being yes?
Can I do like a ritual cast to see if the actual clock watch is magic or something?
Well,
Listening to us through this.
you should have thought about that before the entire thing went on, but sure.
Got reminded of it. So I take out my focus and I do like a ritual and do detect magic on it.
Well, the clock clearly has some magic on it. Now, wherever this means that it's because so it will never rust, wherever it will always be precise, or if it's something connected to listening in, you have no idea. But there is some magic on the clock. But it could just as easily be that it's to keep the rust out of a mechanism and to keep it smoothly running. Like, you have no idea.
Okay.
I mean, while we're doing this, Hess probably is soloing the entire bank.
Yeah, like... Yeah, so, Hess, what are you doing?
Drunk clans.
So, Ravandil is still sleeping on the bed, drunk out of his wits. An hour has gone by while you planned. So, what do you do with Ravandil now?
I'm in the bed.
What?
Good night, Uncle.
You just leave him there?
No.
Leave a note. Stick it inside his clothes.
Like, the note reads, don't go anywhere, but it's placed in a pocket and he never checks his pockets.
No, I mean, like, shove it on his chest under his shirt.
Oh, on wall.
A big old piece of vellum. Put
Ah.
it
We're
on.
gonna steal the bank. Here's a kinetic note that if someone finds it on you, they're going to arrest you. Ho ho, yes.
Yes. Yes, I will write exactly that.
Alright. So you put a note on Ravandil's body, and then you just leave him there.
Oh, can we say that we've had a short rest?
Yes, 1 hour went by and you were just talking, so yes.
Oh, sweet. I get to recover some spell slots.
What are with all these clones in the bank?
Listen, there are only that few.
They're not clones. They're like cousins and stuff. It's like Nurse Joy and what's her name? Officer Jenny.
Yeah, it's like.
Well, there was an experiment a long time ago to try to create more slaves, and it didn't work out because they declared themselves a superior class of people.
I'm just wondering what's going to happen when the guy who's running the bank comes in and it turns out it's a demon duck.
Kill it. Alright, so
Oh.
does everyone follow the plan I've written out so far?
Before you guys start on robbing the bank, 'cause I don't think Donor actually has a role in this.
Not robbing the bank. We're committed.
Yeah,
Pause doesn't have a role in this either. Basically, they
Right.
just stand there and look pretty.
You
Um,
can just babysit Ravandil.
So,
I-
Donner and Paws could actually stay with Ravendil, or they could or they could stand outside the bank in case things go wrong.
No!
Remember, anything you build, I can destroy.
The DM give it, take it away.
I'm aware.
Donner just wants to ask Funda. So, we've been in the city and you've seen all these enslaved elementals. I haven't actually asked Funda how they feel about any of this. So what is their opinion on it?
Well, Funda basically answers like this. It's sad. It's really sad. And they've been enslaved for so long. It's even sadder. They should be freed. But if they are freed, they will rampage. And they will kill a lot of people. And what about the children? And what about the innocents? A city... Isn't a city made by more than just people who are bad? Are there also good people in the city? Or not?
I wouldn't count on that.
This was exactly what I was worried about.
That's true. Actually, I don't
Like,
know.
that's not our problem. Fault.
I mean, if a dragon attacks the bank in the middle of the city, the bank is the only thing that's going to be completely destroyed.
The
Realistically,
bank which has everyone's, I'm assuming, life savings in it.
yeah, but like,
You,
fuck 'em.
you say that like peasants have life savings in the bank.
Of course they do.
And besides, it's probably insured.
Who's gonna pay out that insurance?
We're in medieval times.
Yes.
Fantasy Middle Ages, not...
Fantasy Middle Ages, they have magic and shit.
Yeah, we have like...
Yeah, they
Yeah,
can
it
just
doesn't
make
have to
gold. They
do
can just
anything-
call some
okay, so,
alchemists.
like, this is what I study as like my focus of study. This kind of shit. So I'm probably more involved in like the understanding of the banking systems and the insurance, like how that all works out. Like I'm sure someone else knows more than me. So
I mean, realistically, if morality was a problem, then Robert would not have proposed this as a solution to our problem, because if this plan would result in more deaths, he would never have proposed it in the first place because Robert is the most good among all of us.
Is he?
Technically,
Oh,
yes.
really?
What alignment did I give him?
I mean,
What is it?
He's
Amit's,
good, but
look-
his definition of good is kind of weird.
look, in the middle of all of you, the kindest one is Fanda. So, just so you know, the lightning elemental outgoes all of you.
That is true.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, we got to persuade the lightning elemental to be on board with this.
The lightning elemental shakes her lightning head like really, really firmly. She's like, if we can free them and send them back home immediately, it should be done. This way they won't harm anyone, and they'll be free, and everybody wins.
I mean, if we blow up the bank and make it so they don't have money, that means they won't have the money to enslave more people, or I guess elementals, if we want to be very, very, very specific about their subsection of sentient people that they enslave.
It's magic that they used to.
Well, yes, but those magics cost gold. They have to pay money for the components for those various spells, and they require upkeep and maintenance. So realistically,
we're not gonna make a dent in this place until we destroy it.
But you know what? Let's start with the beginning of your plan. So, you decide to go into the bank and leave Ravandil behind, correct? Let's.
no, Ravendell's coming with us.
Well, then he's drunk out of his mind. So,
Yes, I thought.
Outside of the
Yes, I
bank,
thought
right?
you did greater restoration or something.
Wait.
Lesser restoration.
Lesser restoration.
so Ravandil, you were sleeping and you had the strangest of dreams in which your mother was kind to you, and then you suddenly wake up and you're sober, and you're back into the filthy reality of you being the disappointment of your entire family and genealogy.
Okay, as I wake up, I just rub my eyes, feel that I have dry tears for some reason. I wipe my face. I'm like, okay, why that miss? What happened this time? Is Shaf God? Is Robert also his son? Is Guy his horrifying hybrid of Shaf a cat? Tell me. Like,
Well, if Donner were a clock, I think I would know.
Basically, Rav, you have more family around you than you thought you did.
Hey,
I'm
Uncle.
not proud of you.
ah, joy. So,
Also, we're about to rob a bank.
We're not gonna rob the bank. We're taking out a loan.
what?
Kindly
Also-
rob a bank.
Why?
Also,
The most boring way
Oh,
possible.
right. Disco Ball is coming.
Who? Who the fuck's a disco ball?
The dragon.
You remember Disco Ball? We got mocked by her.
That's a Spera. Her name is a Spera.
Really? I thought it was Disco Ball.
Oh, it's. Oh my god, it's the one I'm going through this shit. Okay, so. Okay, so you're telling me that Sespera, not her son, is coming here.
Yes.
I see. And your plan is to rob a bank full of gold.
Take a loan.
Full of gold that the dragon wants.
Yeah.
So you want us to bring ground zero where the dragon will attack and probably incinerate us all. Am I correct?
Finally,
Senpai?
someone
We
gets
want
it.
to take out a loan before she gets here, and then tell her that's where we are.
Yeah,
Well,
time's
you're
a wasting, so
How
just
far away? Because I'm thinking far away from the city, like kilometers away from the city.
yeah, that's the plan.
well,
So we have to steal some horses, right?
Okay, so what's your plan? I may quote fingers to steal the bank. And please let me softly on the bank.
Well, we're going in to take out a loan, not rob it. There's a difference.
And how much of that loan are you going to take?
We'll negotiate it once we go in.
We're going to take out two things. An unlimited line of credit, which we're not going to use, and an immediate loan, which will be smaller. They're going to get greedy, want us to be there for the unlimited line of credit, want us to take that out, and then we are going to take out enough money to fund ourselves.
Yes, and if that doesn't work, we just, rob the bank.
Okay.
As a worst case scenario, we rob it. Best case scenario, we go
another
in.
question. We're going to go in the bank like this, like we're looking right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to leave three of you out here. I was just going to take my chief negotiator, business partner, and my legal and my religious counsel.
I mean, that would work too. If we do it like that, then you guys can stand guard and
Also,
watch for the
Mr.
dragon.
Nobleman, you should probably have some guards.
Okay.
So that's
Like-
everyone.
So basically, guys want us to pretty much be going to a bath. Then the dragon burns it, it doesn't side it.
No. The
Okay.
dragon arrives after we took out a loan.
You're right.
Let's do that.
Yeah, a dragon doesn't arrive early nor late. A dragon arrives precisely when you want him the least.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to taunt the dragon. Yeah, we're
Thing
going to go
is
like right now.
that you guys do
Want the
realize
dragon before or after we're outside of the bank.
Okay, you do realize that dragons are going to, people are going to be suspicious of us and spread rumors about us, and it's going to make
Yeah,
a
but
life.
like, who gives a shit?
I know that
Haven't
Bigger
already.
things are at stake.
you should just disguise ourselves, I mean, it's not like we have someone that is good disguises. It's glare at shop at that. And I
I
can
only have
also,
a pedigree for my own family.
I mean, I also have, we can just, find whoever is the keeper,
Hey,
the keys,
Rondo, aren't you also a noble?
disgraced noble, thank you, Lucy.
Yeah, his face was burned out of a Silverhand family, since he failed at doing even the most basic of things. Like,
Pedigree still.
2 plus 2, Ravandir. What's 2 plus 2? I don't know.
Well, like,
Do you
I knew,
still
like,
have a pedigree?
I'm going to throw rocks at you, Ramadil. Cast magic at this game. I can't. You can't. But I couldn't.
Well,
Like, so many people.
It doesn't matter if you're disgraced. Do you have a pedigree?
I do not. What's part of my mother hated me so much that she put me out of the will. She burned out of my tree. She basically does not acknowledge I existed at all. I'm stricken
he's-
from the records.
He's been disinherited.
He's
Completely
Then that's
out.
perfect. You don't exist.
Leafan is still on the registry.
So you'll be leaving.
Yeah.
How? Leafan
It's a
Silver
tale as old
has
as
been
time.
missing for the last 100 years.
We're
You guys
overcomplicating
don't
this.
know
Ravi,
that.
You know
We're
what?
over- guys, we're overcomplicating this. Ravi, you're a perfectly suitable guard. You can hit things when they move. You have a bow and arrow, and you're really good with a pair of swords. You're not a disappointment.
Are you saying that because you want me to agree, or are you saying because no, wait, don't say. I know this one thing. You know what? Fine. Whatever. You know what? My life's already fucking screwed enough. I mean, it could always get worse, but I'm not expecting. Let's go with a plan. Whatever.
So,
All right, we're all on board.
everyone moves to step into the bank, but of course, before entering the bank, there is a zone of truth, and you are asked to deliver all of your weapons to the guards at the entrance.
Okay.
Okay.
Fuck.
Hey, that's why I'm chief negotiator. I know how to get past the zone of truth.
Do you?
Yeah.
We do a will save if it's not a truth, right?
But they know that you failed the will save.
It's basically,
Oh, well, sorry, they know that you made the will save.
yeah,
Okay.
it's basically, they will know you are allowed to lie, so they'll just stick you in there until you actually allow it to happen.
Okay.
So, one of the guards looks at you and goes, deliver all of your weapons, please. And if you are magicians or spellcasters, deliver all of your focuses. You will receive them back at the end of your visit. Welcome to the Bank of Shurazund, where our service is, where us servicing you is our most prized possession.
You need to work on that stutter, I say to the employee.
I am sorry.
No, don't apologize. That's just the zone of truth speaking.
So, you deliver everything of weapon / arcane focuses /
I'm just going to assume that's exactly what I did.
Alright. So, once everyone delivers, you realize, well, there are the guards, and then you see these funny floating things filled with eyes. You've already seen them once, a long, long time ago, as a familiar to wizards. In this case, they appear to be freer and just float around lazily looking at people.
Take him down! Take him down! It's basically a security camera.
Yeah. You, Shafnum and Pros, having been here before, know that this lady here is in charge of information. And, well, there's the counters with the line for the peasantry, the upper floors for the bourgeois and the richer, and then there is the private office of a manager, and further up the stairs there are the offices for the license. So where do you go from here?
Alright, we head right to the lady.
Alright. So walk
Straight to the front.
there. Move your tokens.
Okay. Ooh. Wait, let's just go there.
Alright, pause. Just come on up. And,
I'm just a guard.
that's true. But you're also the business partner in our exotic meats business.
So the lady watches you arrive and goes, "Hello, welcome to Shurazund's bank, where us servicing you is our most prized possession. What can we do for you today?"
Price possession.
Okay. We would like to take out an unlimited line of credit, and we are aiming to acquire. So Chap is greedy, right? Like really, really greedy. So of course he's going to say something high, and we'd like to take out an immediate loan of 100,000 platinum coins for Robert Mundus of the Mundus family.
Oh, we've gone over this before. We're here to talk to the manager.
So the lady looks at you all and goes, "This is above my pay grade. I will notify the manager, and if he has a free slot, he will discuss it with you. We can give loans up to 1,000 platinum coins, and for more, it must be clear with the manager. So, but if you are from an esteemed noble family, please step up to the upper floors. You do not need to stay with the rabble rousers, your lordship."
Naturally.
Thank you, ma'am. You've been a wonderful service to us.
Ravi, Donner, you lead us up on the rear. Robert needs some bodyguards, being a noble.
Well, that's what he pays us for.
Uh,
What you said.
Where am I heading up to?
Here. S is already going ahead, like, no, S, you have to, S, where are you going?
She's like an ADD child.
Yes,
That is
so, this is the waiting room. There is a man going around offering trays of wine and food, and
This area again?
this is where nobles demand for loans or pay taxes or want to have an exchange in money and whatnot.
Okay.
So, would you care for a glass of wine, my lord?
No, thank you.
On the
I
Would-
will accept one, and so will my comrade in arms. Pause.
the wine is only for our most noble customers, sir.
I am of the Great Silverhand legacy.
You should have mentioned so then, sir. Have a glass!
Naturally. So I take the glass and I offer it to Pause.
I take it, but I don't drink.
Well,
It's just in my paw. Just like twirling it or whatever.
well, after a couple minutes, you hear a small clattering sound, which is soon followed by the door opening. Stay there! And if one of the watchers step out of the door and near the figure of Robert. Your lordship can come. The manager will speak to him. Please follow me.
What shop's that?
Alone?
The noble lordship may bring one guard.
I will go with him.
He's a
I will serve as your chief guard and chief negotiator.
I asked this eyeball if there's a water closet nearby.
There is not. So, as you are brought here, the guards wait patiently, and then a man steps outside. Very well then, we will keep in contact.
Oh shit, is that?
The man clearly appears to have Finnish ancestry. He has long crimson wings and a pair of horns. He looks at you both and smiles in a charming way. Ah, it is nice to see you once more, Shafnu Makwajar. How fares your quest to be the most drunk and the most drugged of them all?
I achieved it. I achieved it long ago, and I continue to achieve it for an entire century.
Good, good. We are pleased to hear that.
These
What?
days I've been sober.
Oh, we are sad to know that. As he walks past you, he whispers in a not in a kind of small whisper, but loud enough to be heard even by Robert. Well, anything that keeps your brother alive is worth doing after all. Isn't that true? And he walks down.
I'm about to straight up banish this motherfucker.
So the door opens and you see this
Oh,
guy
shit.
stepping. Yeah, you cannot use banishment here. You had forgotten that. Clocks. So as he's walking, the champion actually stops when he sees Pose. Then he furrows his brows a bit, mutters something that perception check.
Edgy. I also do it because I'm new.
Also because I know. Also because he's looking at me.
Yeah.
Also because I have good perception.
Oh, I think I
Oh
know.
shit! I rolled really badly.
So Ravandil and Hess, you two do hear him mutter, and here I was thinking we had killed all of them. Then he passes Ravandil and he looks at him with a smile, a devious one. Ah, hello there, Ravandil. Always the hero of your tale, aren't ya? And he laughs before just moving past.
God damn it. I immediately go to pause and I say.
And then he leaves and you don't see him anymore.
Did you hear what he said? I didn't quite catch it.
So I just tell her that I think the guy was in the call. He said that he thought he wiped off vaccine. Wait. I think you should be careful.
So, in the meantime, the door is open and both Robert and Shafjum can step inside.
Alright.
Come on in, I don't bite. Greetings, your lordship. Whom do I have the pleasure to speak to?
This
I'll be
is
right
the
back.
great lord, Robert Mundus.
I present my pedigree.
I see, I see. It is a true pleasure to meet you. I am merely Lord Anund of the Wines. It is nice to meet you. So, it is fine. We are nobility of Shurazund and Shurazund alone. But tell me, please, what can we do for you and your most noble and esteemed house?
As his chief negotiator, as his chief negotiator, and
Quiet,
I look at.
sir. I am
Oh,
speaking.
of course.
Thank you. I have found a wonderful time in this great city of yours. And I have also found this wonderful man with a great business that I think shall add to this city. He's a seller of exotic meats, and he has great ideas of what to do with this business. Now he shall get into discussing it.
Of course. We will take great pleasure into hearing his words.
Dr. Bong's exotic meats, the most delicious meats you will ever have.
I'm sorry.
These have the ability to become a franchise quite unlike any other. They're borderline addictive.
Just give me 1 sec. Have you already asked for a license within our offices?
We have received one, yes.
Very well, then all is in order. So, what would you ask of the Bank of Shurazund?
The great Robert Mundus is considering a massive fair, something to cover the entire city. In fact, he has so deeply considered this that he has asked me to speak on his behalf in requesting an unlimited line of credit. But as a lord, he does have needs, as all of us do, and would like to request an immediate loan of 100,000 platinum coins.
I'm intending to purchase a wonderful home here.
100,000 platinum coins is more than enough to buy the entire upper district of Shurazund. I am sure we could settle for a smaller amount, which would, however, be more than necessary to fulfill all of your wildest and most depraved and decadent desires, should you wish for it. Though, at this point, we of a bank, for such high level of loans, do indeed require a signature on a magical contract.
So long as his chief negotiator, I have the ability to read over this contract. Is there such an issue with that?
Of course not. Of course. However, the gold will not be transferred until a signature is had or an accord is made. So, we have a lot of very interesting and very flexible interest rates that you may pursue at your pleasure. He pulls out from his desk a set of parchment, really fine parchment, with words inked in gold and blood mixed together. All of the parchment are faintly magical. So, we have a simple loan of 1,000 platinum coins that can be reimbursed with a flat interest rate of a mere 20%.
1,000 is far too low for the means of our grand lord, when the original asking price was 100,000 platinum.
We understand. We have a 5,000 platinum coin offer, though this time the interest rate is of 25%.
I couldn't imagine possibly going lower than 80,000.
80,000 is a bit too much that we can feel confident in loaning out. However, we could perhaps agree to... do you want to try a persuasion roll or do you want a percentage roll, Shafnum?
I think,
I feel like this is gonna come around and bite Robert in the ass.
let me check. So I've got, let's see.
Even better than he's gonna be personally invested. His character will be personally invested.
Can I add bardic inspiration to my persuasion roll?
No, because you should have been playing it beforehand.
That's fair.
No one got it?
Well, I have actor, so I can add a +1 to the check.
So it's persuasion.
Yep.
So roll persuasion. Let's see how much I do have. I'm not a manager for nothing.
The help action.
You can take a help action, in which case Shavnium will roll with advantage.
Well,
I'm
considering
gonna need
I am
that.
here with him, he is my chief negotiator in a business that's legitimate, and I presented my pedigree to say that he
Yes.
is legitimate.
So
This isn't helping.
yes, so
Can you
Shavnium,
offer your persuasion roll as well then?
no.
I mean,
When
only
it's
one
like this, it's only one of you two can roll, but the one who rolls has advantage. But it's only one.
All right. Deep breathing here. Let's pray. I get the +1 from actor. So
See how bad this fails.
28.
I'm just saying, like, robbing the bank is still on the table.
And so the man looks at you and goes, "Of course, we understand the needs of nobility, but 80,000 is too much. However, we can come up to 20,000 platinum coins. But that is the most we can reasonably offer out to a single individual."
In
Understandable.
terms of platinum and gold.
Yes,
Surely this
20,000.
bank has other needs.
Where?
We do, but those assets are frozen because unfortunately we have received news that there may be some problems on the horizon, and as such the esteemed Arcane College has requested that all precious jewels and materials to be kept aside, even the heart of Shurazund itself.
Wait,
But naturally they would be here in this bank. Of
Dr.
course.
Bowman. Dr. Bowman, I think we've had specific. There's going to be sufficient funds to cover all expenses that we expect in establishing ourselves in this city.
Oh, if you insist, Lord Mundus. Truly your word is the greatest among the words.
The-
Lines, would you present the contract for us to read it over and
Of
understand
course.
it?
So the man actually stands up, walks to the cabinet behind him, and from the lowest of drawers pull out a parchment that reeks of both blood and gold and sweat and sulfur. When delivering such important amounts of money, there is always a need for extra safety. He places the parchment on the desk and says, "As long as both parts are honest in their endeavors, all will be well. Should either part be dishonest, then the greatest of punishment and sufferings will happen." The parchment, if you read it, will require an intelligence check to fully understand.
Okay, so will it be me or the other? Like, I have to read this, so I need I'll need a Shafnium's help for me to take this.
Well, you can both read it. Of course, one of you two will roll with advantage, and the other will not roll. So it's on you.
Okay, so which one of us has the higher intelligence? I have 10.
Technically, I have 11, but it's still a modifier of 0 either way.
Okay, so you're helping me read it.
I'll help you read it, and I'll read it myself. So we both take an intelligence check, and you get advantage.
Okay.
No.
I mean,
Only what if.
I roll. I roll. You help me. I get advantage. You don't roll.
Okay. Can I use
And-
Bardic Inspiration for this?
Well, technically, you could start playing a tune to help your noble lord concentrate. Of course, it's going to be hearable, but if it's just music, they probably will not say anything about it.
Then that's exactly what I'll do.
Honestly, I can just say to him, would you have any issue with me sitting down in the corner to read this over?
Of course
while
not. We even have pillows prepared and ready, and we can bring in some wine for you while you read
Oh,
it.
please do, by all means.
So he speaks some
We have
more.
one final request before you head out. Our religious council in the form.
I will not be heading out. You misunderstand. He simply
Oh, perfectly understandable.
the watcher comes in, and then he's told to bring wine and refreshments. And you were saying about your religious advisor?
We can't necessarily make a decision without her on hand. At the bare minimum, we must consult with the gods before we proceed any further.
Of course, we understand. So, what name, and is she waiting outside?
Yes, she will be waiting with a small group, our other guards, the Great Sorcerer, a high elf ranger, and a tabaxi druid.
Tabaxi? Oh my, I thought the last of them was killed to make a pelt. Oh well. We'll see. Yeah, it was a bit of a sad story. We used to have some money from them, but, well, loans that will never be collected.
I mean, isn't Paws eligible to be
No.
sole inheritor?
Well, technically, she wouldn't be.
The Watcher comes out here and goes, "Will the spiritual advisor to the noble and esteemed house of Mundis please walk with me back to her noble lord?
Oh, I think that's me. Yes.
Follow me, please."
Just sprints ahead.
Yes.
Yeet.
Hello.
Greetings and welcome. So you may use the room, the carpet, the pillows. They are the softest. We will have wine brought. Enjoy your stay there. And
Can I see the contract?
yes, the contract is in Robert's hands, and it pulses with energies of magic, both arcane and divine in nature.
Okay, so I really need her to like check. Can you check exactly what magic is on this?
I don't think I have detect magic.
Yes, you have left.
Oh yes, actually I do. Yes, I cast detect magic.
So,
You do it.
what stands in the hands of Robert is a marvel of magic. It is a product of the greatest and most incredible minds, as well as the most devious, you might argue. It is, as it was truthfully been said, a contract of a magical nature. If both sides are honest, and the money is returned punctually on time every month, then all is well and all is fine. There is an interest rate of 50%, which means that of the 20,000 platinum coins loaned, 30,000 must be returned. However, there is an interest rate of 50%, a monthly fee to be paid every month, and it's a 5-year contract. Plus, and here is where it gets interesting or horrifying, should the contract not be respected, should 1 month of repayment be missed, and the contract holder will inexorably and excruciatingly be tortured into the flames of hell, while the contract will of course proceed to legally bind the rest of his family into repaying the debt.
So, I go over and whisper, we might need to rob the bank after all.
No. I can work with this.
Do not.
Well, here's the thing. What if the
Dad.
bank can't collect?
You're still gonna get tortured.
Well, no. What if we have the money to give them, but for some reason the bank is unable to accept that money?
I
Then the
don't
fault
think-
does not necessarily lie with us, and the contract would be null and void.
I think it will.
I bet that if we ask, they'll probably say something to that effect.
Yes.
I won't ask,
Excuse
you can
me.
ask.
Yes?
In the unlikely, very, very unlikely.
In the event that something happens to the bank, however likely that event may be, would we still be expected to make the payment? For example, let's suppose that there was an earthquake or a tornado.
Of course,
cataclysm.
we assume that noble and esteemed lords might travel a lot. That is why we have collection agents that proceed to gather the gold and bring it to the closest and nearest branch bank of Shurazund.
Oh, it's a branch.
Well, no, this is the main office, but we do have branches. And we have a very, very well-armed division of Hell Knight warriors who are our bounty hunters and debt collectors.
Lord Muntz, I would not recommend that you take a loan this time.
I will leave to consider this loan. I might consider other loans. Would you? I then speak to Lord Wines. Would you mind if I make an appointment to come here another day?
Of course, of course. You are free to come here whenever you wish, Lord Mundus. I will, however, be holding on to that contract. It is one of a kind, after all.
Understand, sir. I hand back the contract to him.
Alright, he takes the contract back and puts it religiously back into the lower drawer. Then he bids you a good day. Unless there is anything more you wish to ask him.
Before we go, are there any others who have taken such a contract and such a loan from you before?
Well, a couple of individual kings, emperors, maybe, I fear. Some have paid, actually, and some have not.
Are any currently in the middle of such a payment plan?
Well, no, not that we know of.
Interesting.
Though, of course, we have less demanding loans for lower prices.
A final
think-
question then.
Yes?
No contract is perfect. Reasonably speaking, there will always be some inherent flaw, as anyone who makes such a contract would be flawed, even if it was made by the hands of infernal or,
Yes?
say, demonic.
Well, that is the nature of the written word, after all. It is unchangeable, but the human mind does change a lot, so...
Well, in the interest of as much transparency as possible, and since we're all under a zone of truth, what are the flaws of this contract?
No, you are not under a zone of truth. There is no zone of
There's
truth.
no zone of truth here?
No, the zone of truth is only at the entrance. Well, he looks at you and goes, well, of course, the contract has a very glaring flaw. It's too honest and too helpful for anyone asking for a loan, after all. It's the most merciful of them all. But by the way, I overheard you mention you have a tabaxi waiting for you, right?
Yes, the guard from a tribe that almost certainly you've never heard of.
No, we actually do, or well, had a couple of accounts. So, could you send her in, if you wouldn't mind?
I would mind if we were not allowed to be in the room with her. She is my
Well,
guard, and
That would be up to her.
if I did not help.
Well, I understand.
Realistically speaking,
but-
if we're asking for the tabaxi to come in, that will mean that 4 out of the 6 of us will be in this, and the other 2 will be outside. Might we all just convene in here and act as...
No, my noble lords, you misunderstand. This is a private matter that concerns only the tabaxi. So, if she wills for it, you will of course be allowed entrance. But I need to hear it from her.
Will.
If you
Alright.
consent for her, we can step out of the room if she does not want us here.
Exactly, that is the thing. This concerns her and her family matters, I would suppose. So,
Yes, why are you eating again?
Shh, don't worry about it.
so a watcher steps out again and says, will the... what was the name of the tabaxi?
Pause.
Will Miss Pose of the tabaxi tribe please follow me, says the watcher.
Alright.
Hello?
Yes?
Yeah, Paul stands up. Are we being called by...
No, the esteemed Lord... what the hell was his name? The esteemed Lord Anund wishes to speak with you concerning matters of banking regulations.
banking regulations? I'm a guard. What would I do with banking regulations?
There are a couple of accounts that may belong to you. If you can... Well, it will be spoken more in the office. Please follow me.
Okay. Turn to look at Ravendale and then I just go.
Alright, well...
I like that Don's basically just chopped liver right now. I bet he's just
juggling thunder and two lightning balls in his hands while he sits there under the watchful eye of whatever that pink thing is.
I watch her.
Do I see anything up here? While I'm...
Well, you know it leads up to the offices with the licenses and whatnot. There is nothing else over.
Okay.
So, as you step inside, Lord Anund looks at you and goes, well, Miss Pose, I would have to discuss with you matters concerning concerning some accounts that were left in the hands of your tribe and which fell to us and our management since their absence. Would you like to speak of this with the rest? With your...
And which tribe do these loans belong to?
No, not loans. We have some accounts that were done by tabaxis, and we no longer have access to them, access to the people. So would you like to discuss this matter in private or with your employer present?
Pause looks so like... Did you just assume that I know other tabaxis? That sort of face. Excuse me. Do you think that just because I'm a tabaxi that I would know everyone else from my race?
Well, the thing is, I am sorry to say this, but your race was pretty much exterminated down to a last. So
It's free money.
it is highly possible you might be the sole descendant / survivor. So yes,
It would be reasonable to at least look at these accounts to see if they are related.
exactly.
Fine, if he suggests it. I would like them to stay, please.
Very well. So we have a couple of accounts that belong to a certain Verdant of Tabaxi. Then we have something from Steel Eye Tabaxi. No? Doesn't ring a bell?
No.
Nothing?
I'm afraid.
Oh, well. Then we just have one last account. Though, in order... well, we do have a Mountain Sleet account, but I do not know. Do you know this person?
Mountain Sleet?
Yes.
Possibly.
Well, we have an account in her name.
Wait, possibly?
Shut up, Shaq. No. Oh, you're a great character. What
So-
sort of account?
Well, it's a holding account, actually. It's more of a chest which was closed with a key which was given to her. So we do not actually know its contents, but we know it's there and it's taking up space. So, do you know this person?
Yes.
Do you have a blood relation with such person?
If it is the correct Mountain Sleet, then they would be my mother.
Oh, very well then. In that case, we will just conduct a very quick ritual to ascertain the truth. Then you may get a copy of the key and and we will bring up the chest from the lower floors.
Very well. What
The-
does this ritual...
Nothing peculiar. We will just draw a circle of truth and ask you if truthfully that is you are actually her daughter, and so on and so on.
Oh, okay.
Nothing problematic, though due to the nature of the question, do you still wish for your employer to be present?
Yes. Actually, if we could get the other two in here as well, please.
I don't believe that would be necessary.
I do. And if it is to do with my accounts, then I would like a friend's...
Witnesses of the new
Advice.
employer understand.
Well then, so both Ravendil and Donner are called to the manager's office, since Pose requires their presence, and I'll move Ravendil. Even if Ravendil doesn't move, I'll move him myself.
I was just because of the movie, but
You don't want to move, I'll move you myself. So, a cleric, a priest of Abadar, walks in and makes a circle of truth. So, Pose of Green, are you the descendant of Mountain Sleet of Tabaxi?
Yes.
Do you remember by any chance that she mentioned having an account in this bank?
She has not mentioned any account.
Do you have witness to her demise, death, or otherwise know that she is not able to take her possessions back herself?
Yes. I did her funeral rites myself.
Understandable. Well then, with this out of the way, you may step outside of a circle. We will have a chest brought up immediately. So,
Does Ravendil have like dispel magic or detect magic?
No. Actually, has detect magic.
Oh. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
so, after a short while, a chest is brought up from the lower vault. As it is brought up, it's placed. Let's just find chest. Let's see if we can have a chest. Yes, we can. There we go. A chest is placed in front of Pose, and it's dusty, as if it had been staying down and unseen for years. The chest itself is quite beautiful, to be told, but also very old. There is an old rusty lock that probably needed a key to open, but since the key is missing, the next best thing that is offered is you may break the lock. There should not be any problem. The magic that protects this has been taken away.
Okay.
Break it.
You know, I bet that she has a key as like some kind of heirloom. Probably had no idea what it was supposed to do.
It all went into the funeral pyre.
Do it in the hole.
Yeah, it was like, remember Pose, whiskey! Yes, mother, yes, I will burn it with you. No! Ah!
Like, first fall.
Okay. Pause, kneels down, and then just like traces like any designs on the chest. Do they look familiar? Do they just look?
There is something of familiar to them, but you cannot actually place where you have seen those things before. It's like maybe you were too small when you saw them, and it's just something that sticks out to your mind, but you don't remember where you've seen it before. It's just there, like at the tip of your tongue, but you cannot understand, and that actually annoys you a bit.
The tip of your cat tongue.
Pause is just like growling slightly. Let's see.
Is everybody else distracted?
I
I
just
try. Yeah. I
Like,
try
if
to
I
hug down the lock as hard as I can to try and break it.
Ah, yeah, well, the lock breaks quite easily. Now all that remains is to just open it up.
Okay.
Oh God, please don't be an IOU from Shaft. Please don't be an IOU.
Like, there's a piece of paper and on it is written, "Hey, listen, sweet cheeks, I remember the money I gave you for your daughter's education. I needed it for drugs. See you later."
Okay. Pause gets off of their knees and it gets into like a pouncing stance because they remember loads of tough lessons they got from their mom. and gets ready to like open the chest, but also ready to like leap back if anything happens, and then just opens it.
Alright, so you open it and nothing seems to happen. There is silence. At the same time, the chest itself doesn't pop up in magic, doesn't explode. There's just a small cloud of dust that's released from the insides. And there you actually find, once the dust clears, two objects. One is a book bound in rabbit fur. The second is a key.
Don't burn this one.
Let's see if the key fits the lock.
What lock?
The lock you just broke.
I can just imagine it. Like, I was going to give you that book that's inheritance, but I accidentally locked myself out of this. How? I don't know.
Portable hole.
Paws takes the book, just runs her paw through over it. She always did like rabbit fur. Opens it and flips through it.
So the words are written in the language of druids, of course. They appear to be a diary of sorts. A diary who has had many of its pages singed or wet or even ripped out. Only a couple actually remain. And the most jarring of them all is actually the last entrance, which contains a very simple message written in what you feel is blood. It's a simple word. Run.
Paws quietly closes the book, takes the key. Anything else in the chest?
No, the chest is completely empty.
Can you cast what's it called? Detect magic to see if there's magic between any of these three.
Hess?
Yes.
Hess is dead! Oh no, she's dead!
Oh no, Hess has gone into a coma.
Is listening to the
I think
chicken.
Cass is having an episode because she realized that I'm her dad and I made her entire religion to keep her safe.
Her god isn't real! There is no Santa.
Well, technically, in D&D lore, if you believe in an entity enough, that entity will become real.
Well, yes.
Koa.
Imagine if Cluck wasn't real until Hess herself was like old enough to realize what Cluck was, and then Cluck just suddenly sprang into existence because of her.
What if Black is Galio?
Alright, I had to step away for a moment.
Ah,
Revolutionary heaven.
Oh, she snapped back. Hess, would you mind if you cast detect magic between these three items? In my.
oh wait, because you stepped out, so you missed
Yeah,
the...
I missed.
Why do you always miss the important stuff, Hess?
Perfect.
I'm not getting so
This is
pissed
perfect.
because-
Hess was most likely the only one close enough to see that last page, but she was too zoned out. No one else knows what's in it.
No! Oh, god damn it, now I'm so curious. What is it?
No,
What?
no one tell her. No one tell her.
Well, it's a book which is made with rabbit fur to close it. And there's a key.
And something on the last page of the book, which is...
You
What?
missed it.
Damn it.
You were out of it.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry, Hess. Next time you're leaving, tell me so I can tell you who your parents are and if what is the meaning of life.
You know who my parents are. One of them is
Life
in
is
this...
42.
Yeah, but you don't know who the other is.
Yeah, who's your mom, Hess?
Yes, she does.
Huh?
What? She does.
So
As long as she does.
If it turns out it's I mean, I don't know.
A chicken?
No, your mother is Shespera! And she'll show up and be like, Yes, you are my daughter. No!
I would
You
be down
must
for that.
join me.
So, with that being said, Bose has asked you to use, what? Detect magic.
Yeah.
Are you gonna show me the last page?
No.
Then I guess I won't. I won't cast detect magic on you.
Oh,
I
I
can't
see how it is.
detect magic.
alright. So, you cast detect magic, and while the book isn't magical, the key instead is. And even more, you can give me an insight check.
Who?
Has.
Okay. Insight.
And you can roll extra to give it a boost.
19.
Nice.
So, it is a key, but it's not a key to a lock or to a door. It's one of those keys you would normally use to spin around the hands of a clock.
Oh boy.
Can I?
Oh. Oh.
Oh no.
What is it?
It's like a.
The clock the guy gave you?
It's like a. It's like a key, but for not key stuff.
Like.
What's the word? It's the thing
Arcane?
with that the time stuff.
Clocks?
Oh. It's a
Clock chimney?
wind up key.
Oh, wind up key, right.
Okay.
Didn't you have a magical clock?
That I just got the other day, sure. But
For free.
Use it. On that.
yeah,
That's
I think
my
I will.
prediction.
I think I'll test it out. At the very least, it'll be interesting. But yes, thank
Fucking-
you. And I tuck everything into my pockets.
Pause.
Hey, Robert,
just goes back in time.
Robert.
Rose finds out she's a Time Lord. It was the what's it called?
Gallifreyan.
Yeah.
Yeah, the you know.
Yeah, Pose opens the watch and then goes, Guys, I am not Pose, I am the doctor!
Oh, no words. I am not Pose, I am the master.
Yeah.
Drums and everything. Drum,
Hey, Robert, what languages do you speak?
a chameleon arc. Holy shit.
Oh, Common, Sylvan, and Draconic.
Selvin.
Please.
Okay, so
I just want to know
I look, dude, and I whisper in Sylvan, hey, listen. Here's an idea. We kill the manager.
God,
Set up
this
a very
getting better and better.
set up a very, very convincing illusion that he's still alive. We fake the contract that he put away for the 20,000 gold pieces, 20,000 silver. No, platinum. For the 20,000 platinum. Then we use that fake contract that's an exact duplicate of that contract to get the 20,000 platinum and then get the hell out of the city before they realize that we killed the manager and left his body there.
I just leave.
Yeah,
we need the
drop
platinum.
Do that. I'm not putting my.
Well, now
putting
this is
any
a-
part of my soul.
Well, now this is a robbery, and we're not actually signing a real contract. We're making a fake contract and making it seem like the real one. And we're going to use
Oh,
that
you
fake
put your name
contract.
on.
This feels like much too many complications. Not gonna lie.
Well, the manager anyway sees that you've taken everything out of the chest, nears it, and goes, Well, this was all then. I get. If you are interested in opening a bank account with us, Miss Green, you just need what you ask. We are always willing to open accounts for.
That's
Okay,
fine.
what-
I'm fine with where my cash is.
Alright. Well,
By the way, I am curious because things do get a bit heavy. Do you have like a map of your branches, just so I know how large of a
Well,
how
that,
how easy how easy it would be to access an account if I had one?
well,
Eventually,
all we would give you a banknote, and you would bring this banknote to any and all temple of Abadur, and in some cities even to a temple of Asmodeus, and you would be able to withdraw cash from them at a really challenging rate.
Asmodeus, isn't that like a demon or something?
He's
Oh,
a
yeah.
devil, but he can be lawful, and so too Abadar. And you know, when it comes to gold, gold has no isn't good or bad. Gold simply is. You can use it to build to build an orphanage, or to build a war machine.
Well, gold is power.
Yes, I see you understand that very well. So, would you like to open an account?
No.
I mean, you would.
Thank you.
We have.
I am very tempted, but not at this moment. Thank you.
Oh, it's fine, it's fine. Well, if as an adventurer you will ever feel the need to do so, you just need but to ask.
All right.
Well then, if there is nothing more to discuss, I would bid you a good day, and
Actually, before we go, I whispered Sylvan to Shaft. Can you check the bank if there is a silver account since you're the heir?
I'll do that right now. I go to the manager and I speak to him. Hey, listen, do we have does the Silverhand family have an account with this bank?
well, I would have to check. Just give me a moment. Though seriously, the checking of accounts is more on the matter of the peasantry down below, but I will make an exception, and after a couple of
Right.
minutes, we do have a Silverhand account. Though the owner of said account has not been declared deceased yet. So,
Who is the owner?
well, that would be private information, I'm afraid. Unless.
Would his name happen to be Leafin Silverhand?
No, actually. It
Oh god, it's the mother.
The father.
it
The
would
Holy
be.
Spirit?
Yeah. No, it would happen to be a certain. Well, I cannot say the name, of course, for privacy reasons. You must understand.
I
But
understand.
Unless we have a pedigree, we can't really get them to give us anything on the Silverhand. So unless Leafin or Ravendil have something to prove that they are Silverhand, such as, I don't know, a family heirloom they might have.
I think I might have a ring. I mean, I think it's on a noble background. You can get a ring.
In a signet ring.
Yeah, a signet ring. It's on a noble background. I don't.
well, then show it, and we might start talking.
I have a signet ring.
Good. Yeah. Well then, it is Dove. Well, no, Dove. Dove Silver. Yes. Well, Dove Silverhand here actually. But yes, we do have an account in your name.
I just stuttered because I see, and I just look at the Shaft who is trying to get something out of the account. Please, I beg you.
All right. So before we proceed any further, considering the radical nature of the potential wealth behind this account, I have to ask, if only for the sake of confidentiality and for keeping certain finances secret, is this room soundproofed?
Well,
Nothing's going to leave this.
well, nothing is going to leave this room, though of course there are security measures in place. So
Obviously, yeah.
Well, of course. Surely you have the standard security measures.
yes, we have alarms that will ring should blood be spilled. We have golems and elementals who will flow in from the walls. We even have a very nifty emergency firestorm system. Just
Emergency firestorm system?
yes, you never know. Should someone attempt try to hold people hostage, it will automatically burn everyone alive within the temple in 5 minutes.
Oh, sweet. Is it like a scroll or is it imbued within the walls?
It's
or-
within the walls. This way, keeping hostages turn from a peculiarly horrible situation into one that must be solved in 5 minutes. Otherwise,
Alright.
well, people die.
Pause.
And naturally, the bank has some.
Super big. And it's just
And
like
naturally, the bank has some kind of defense from an outside attack.
Well,
God
yes.
forbid.
Yes, of course. We have knights and paladins who stand outside, and we even have private guards within. And should the worst come to pass, we can activate the golems, the iron golems.
Oh, the iron golems.
Yes.
pause
So
looks
I,
at the
Robert
walls.
Mundus, and having a thought in my head, I turn to my religious council and say, would my lady Cluck, the great goddess of us all, be okay with me doing such deals with other gods?
Mm,
Say no.
mm,
But, well, with that being said, if there is nothing else, I would bid you a good day.
Good day,
Can I see
Lord
that
Lyon.
contract first?
Which one?
One more time.
Oh,
The 20,000 platinum contract.
very well. One more time. So he brings it out and gives it to you. Well, the firestorm is actually arcane based. You can see faintly, now that you notice it, that there are glyphs etched into the walls.
Pause.
Okay,
just
so
has
I look
a
at
big
I look
grin.
at Hess. I look at Hess and I say to her, you might want to send a message to our envoy. A great deal of platinum is going to be received by the Mundus family, and I give her a very, very subtle wink while looking away from the bank manager.
Hess doesn't get it. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, no, she got it. Got it. Sending.
Yeah.
You got to make it really good. Like you got to taunt her.
Dear Shurazund.
Espera.
Shurazund. Or wait, is that the city?
Chispera.
I get
Chespera.
mixed up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What comes after? 13. Now, dear Chispera, you are the light of my life. No, that's not.
I mean, you already sent her 2 messages. You think I didn't notice?
Oh, right. I've already taunted her 3 times this day. I can't do it anymore.
No, that's not necessarily true. It's been at least multiple long rests. You could do it.
No, it's been it's not!
I've sent 3 messages already.
Well, technically, this would be the third message.
No, the 4th.
This would be the 4th.
Yeah, Shespera's even stopped answering back. She's like, you can only hear growling. It's like,
Instead, I will cast Flame Strike. No, I will not.
well, the manager still waits to get the contact back. And so tell me, high percentage or low percentage?
Let's go with high.
Is everyone in agreement?
I kind of just want to. We were not able. Like, I understand like complications introduced for the point of drama, but like I am not interested in being here or getting any of that money now.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Again, this thing is something is happening because it's something that must happen. The question is if it's beneficial or not for you. So, as a group, I need to know high or low percentage. This doesn't concern what you're going to be doing to the manager or if you're starting a fight. Or this is something that would happen. So, high or low percentage. As a group, give me a majority vote.
High.
Low.
Hi.
Low.
So I've got 3 highs and 2 lows, and I'm
Abstain. High.
so high it is. Nice.
Ooh.
Told you.
So something quakes.
Oh, fuck.
It's a large and powerful quake that ripples and sends people screaming across the bank. We have to leave! No, it's an earthquake!
So I offer my hand to the manager and I say, "We're being under siege. We're being attacked. Quickly! There has to be some safe place for us to hide."
The manager, wait. As everyone is screaming, the manager, the 2 guards outside rush in. Manager, what's going on? What should we do? This is, well, lock everything up and see that the guests and the customers leave orderly. Then he takes back the contract from Shafnium's hands, unless you try to stop him from doing that.
Well,
And
I'm definitely going to stop him. This is way too important. We're in
so,
the middle of a business transaction.
You, I would. It's getting me to sign it. You'll be the one fucking sign that.
Yeah.
Well, what are we? What am I rolling for that?
well, it's just, no, because it's simply, if you decide not to give it back, it's initiative and it's a fight. Because clearly he understands something's off is going on.
Just give the fucking contract back.
Just give it back. We can
Oh,
get this.
fine, take the contract.
He gets the contract and quickly puts it in the drawer and goes, please, esteemed guest, you should leave. We do not know what is going on, but... And from us, a dragon! An army of demons! They're laying siege at the city!
Well, now we know.
And that's our cue to leave.
As downwards, not upwards. So, but as you are about to leave, as you move through this to leave, the people are already running out, and I'll just erase them like they never were.
Just
Erase them.
deliberately
Thanos, snap his fingers.
just snapped. Just deliberately making sure that we're at the back of all of them people who are rushing out.
Yes,
You want to go, Mr. Shade?
even the ladies at the counter are running out. So
These guys?
yeah, just give me a second. I'm erasing them in order of.
Yeah. Before we completely leave, I take our weapons, obviously.
Yes, well, the guards kind of left in a hurry, so there are all the weapons here if you want them.
Is there any extra things apart from weapons here that maybe someone got?
Actually, no, but you do notice that the guards and the watchers instead are all rushing for behind the... Just give me a second, I need to erase him too.
Are there any spare armor of the guards?
Actually, that
Is there no guards here anymore?
they've all run away from here and all stepped inside here, which you think, pretty sure, also has the changing room for the guards.
Okay.
Are you guys thinking what I'm thinking?
Do run away, customers! We must awaken the iron golems and close the bank.
Okay.
I
Where
have
do
nothing.
have these on their
What are these?
pockets?
These, they're guards. And this is... Well, these two are guards and this is the manager.
They look like To me, they look like purple chickens or something.
Listen, that's that was what was available, and you'll have to live with it.
I'm just
Okay.
saying.
Alright.
Okay, wait, before we go, many of these guards are likely going to be fighting their last battle against an incredibly dangerous foe. And I came here representing an exotic meats business, so at the very least we should give them a grand meal before a fight.
Oh, God.
What? No, this isn't the time.
No, this is
Leave
the
so
perfect
we can
time.
lock the bank.
So, yeah, I just walk away.
Yeah,
That's
let's
why I
get
get
the
a
hell
weapon.
out of here.
I'm like,
Donner?
seriously? Like,
Donner just left.
I'm just
Uh,
standing
I'm guys, like, seriously? There are 3 of them, and the golems haven't yet been activated. And there's what?
No, I'm just getting my stuff.
Yeah, so.
Getting my
Yeah, but it's not getting your stuff and fucking leaving, I hope!
Yeah.
I can't make it any clearer than this, because otherwise it's like, fuck!
I mean, we're getting our stuff, we're about to walk out.
Yes, and
never
the-
come back.
Yes, but then you don't actually do that, otherwise I will kill you all by myself, like...
I'm fine with that.
Like, I swear to the gods, you have 2 levels of this fucking bank to navigate, and if you refuse, I will eat your entrails!
This is not where I want Robert to
That's
die.
why-
I'm
Okay,
fine
you
with
know
Robert
what?
dying, but this
Listen.
is not the hill he makes his final stand on.
Listen,
Look,
Alright,
this is
you know what?
This is the ideal time
Yes.
You
This
know
is
what?
why I said
by
if
the
I
bank.
notice any keys on them.
Well, the manager definitely has a full amount of keys
That's
on
the
him.
manager?
Yes, it's him.
Tech guards.
That's
do they
the
have
manager.
keys on them?
Yes.
Who's the manager?
Perhaps?
This guy.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
but initiative. Initiative. They changed the rules. It's no longer about I go first, it's about doing initiative and then you get a free round. So just give me a second that I need to clear the list. Then I'll add...
So we are attacking them then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh?
Obviously.
let's
I mean-
fucking kill these people.
I mean, obviously, she just left 3 people with unactive Iron Glow. She's like, attack them, you idiots!
There we go.
God,
Now I'm actually on the thing. I have an initiative of 8.
And that's why I
God
said,
just railroaded us.
yeah, that's why I said
Well,
where the keys
not
are,
even
because-
railroaded. Like, realistically speaking, if we walked out and then never came back, we've created a
That's
situation
what I want
where...
to do.
I mean,
Look, I've been looking forward to robbing this bank for a while.
I have prepared levels for this bank and you will navigate them because you told me you wanted to.
Yeah, but then you said
just
that
to
the
run
dragon's
away on.
attacking, and it looked a little
Do you
scary, and
want
they
to
were
fight
like,
the
3 guards.
dragon? Do you want to fight the dragon? No,
I mean, we
No.
wouldn't really
The
fight,
dragon
we'd be
is
running.
busy attacking the city, okay? It's the city, the
Dragon's
entire
busy.
city.
We can leave now before it finds us.
We can steal
Fine.
something before we leave.
Yeah. Let me
We're
put
gonna
this
carry that. And what? Do what with it? Go find Beathor while the city's on fire?
Forget Beathor.
Yeah.
What do we need that money for? I don't need that money.
Yeah,
You
but
don't need it. I
I
want
need
it.
it. Does. And also,
Actually,
I
I
want.
was going to leave, but then Shade had to fucking mention that Dove Falcon had, aka my fucking ancestor, as an account here.
Yes!
Okay,
Now,
look, let's all be
you want to
realistic
take
here.
the bag. You want to find out what Dove left you? Yes, you do.
Let's all be realistic here. Donner's the only one that has no real motivation to stay. Well, Donner and Rob, but 4 of us have motivation to be here right now.
Right.
You're outvoted. So, I guess we're robbing the bank. So who's gonna punch these people first?
Ravandil,
Yes?
it's your turn. You're the first in initiative, so let's see if you can actually punch people or fail miserably.
Yeah, let's
That's great.
yeah. Let's see how bad they're going to miss. And also while they're like, oh no, I'm being mind controlled. What should I do?
Fight.
Oh,
Thing.
Yeah, that's
What
my
is that?
that's my lightsaber, basically.
Oh
I,
shit.
I named it Negling. It's from my Henta cycle. It's the name of the guy with the golden dragon. Because, golden dragon, and I have a golden sword.
Why?
That's badass.
Why Neek?
Okay. Negling is from the Hinta cycle.
Yes, you hit.
Yes, I understand why, but why?
Why not?
Okay,
Let me
that's
have
fair.
this, damn it.
Okay, it's fair. Well, go hit them.
Okay. Going once.
Also, move your token.
Wait, where am I? Hang on. I'm here, okay. So I think I got my weapons, I'm here, and I fight, and it's time. Alright, I have 2 weapons, then I attack again.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Do I miss? I think I hit.
Wait, how much is it? Yes, you hit again.
Another 9. And this is I have extra attack. One more time.
Yes, you do.
Woo!
Nice. Yes, still alive though.
What?
What?
I mean, you did 32 damage, but I'm still alive.
What?
I mean, Jesus, that's a tough manager.
So,
I
he
mean,
he
we have
ta-
multiple attacks.
he takes the damage, and as blood spills on the ground, he snarls, "What a thieves! You dare! We will not allow this to go on." And Robert,
I just told him I can't control myself. Like, completely and utterly lie. Because I'm not son of food. I can't lie.
Yeah, you're not even trying. You're just, I can't control myself. Oh,
Oh,
no.
What should I do?
well, it's Robert's turn actually.
Robbie?
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 Yeah.
Robbie!
It's your turn.
Attack them, kill them, for the player's sake.
I mean, there is blood on the ground right now, so
Ah, if there's blood on the ground, that means that Robert's going to go berserk.
No, once blood gets on him.
now I'm imagining Shafim just kneeling down, grabbing some blood and just spraying it on.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm just going to do right now.
Well, when it's your turn, but now it's Robert's, so
BRB
Yeah.
guys, I'll be back in a minute.
That's an interaction. That's a free move that I can do. Just flick some
No,
blood on.
Just
on your
don't-
turn. On your turn.
Wait.
Okay, I'm gonna point out that what you're planning to do is to use a very angry man who kind of hates that he has this mental disorder to get him to fight people, and you think that's not going to end up with him fighting you.
I'm not a good person, and I don't really consider the consequences of my actions. Otherwise, I wouldn't have time traveled literally hundreds of times to save my brother, who seems doomed to kill himself in some heroic venture that makes absolutely no coherent sense.
And here's the problem.
Absolutely,
That's-
Homeworld.
Here's the problem. I can't do the character shit if I do that because we have the no fighting each other rule.
Yeah, let's not mess each
Then
other.
we won't fight each other. I'll just put some blood in under your nose, like
No,
it's
Okay,
cocaine.
let me put this a different way. I would not I'm not okay with that being a character thing where Robert you can throw blood at him and throw him at your enemies.
He's a berserker.
Don't question it, dude. Just don't try to force stuff.
yep. So
Anyways,
Robert,
you're-
what do you want to do?
What do I want to do? I want to run away, but we're supposed to be fighting here because that's how D&D works.
I mean, if you want to not do anything and just run away, amen, I'll let you. It's not a problem. But the thing is, if you want to run away, that's fine. But since there's robbing the bank, there's robbing the bank. So I asked beforehand if you wanted to rob the bank, and the majority said yes. Wait. So I made 2 maps for robbing the bank. So let's have a totally serious moment here. The majority said yes, we'll rob the bank. So now this session is about to end. Next session is going to be about robbing the bank. If you don't want to rob the bank, that's fine. I'll just say that your character just works out. But next session is probably going to be about robbing the bank. That's it.
Okay. If you don't need me there, the whole side thing would be that he's going go find some horses to get us out of the city as fast as possible.
Alright. That's fine. But just because I'm telling you so you know, the next session will be the continuation of robbing the bank. So that's
Okay.
that's it. Like if you're fine with that, I'm fine with
I'm
that.
fine with that.
Alright. Then, so Robert walks out and go saying, this is it. I'm going to go looking for horses. And that's it.
All right, he'll be our getaway driver.
Alright. So, moving on. It's the manager's turn. The manager...
I'm going.
Yeah. So, the manager looks at Ravandil and goes, "You think I became the manager for nothing?" And then he attacks. So let's see. Wow. So 15, 21, and 6.
Oof. +5.
So Ravandil, are you hit? Ravi?
Still stepped out.
Yeah, he had to do something. But if it's, I think his AC is 70.
Wait, let me have a look. Ravandil, you will die and it's going to be horrible. Well, technically, the second attack would hit him. So, let's assume he uses shield, but does he have enough spells for shield? Because he already used it once. Let me check spells. Yeah, shield, slots total, slots remaining, technically 3 because you used it once. And again, because you use it again right now. Alright, so no, he doesn't hit Ravandil. Ravandil pops up the shield. So, Pose, your turn.
Yep. Are they all wearing metal?
They are.
So is it metal?
Yeah, I'm gonna use heat metal on this guy.
Alright.
This
Can't
is
you
the
hit like 2 people at once?
I actually don't know. Let me see.
I think that you can hit like up to 3 or something.
No, it says choose a manufactured metal object such as metal within the thing. The range is 60 feet, so within 60 feet that I can choose.
Yeah, it's only one. Yeah, it's one manufactured object. So, ironically, if it had been like one spear and you had pierced with a spear 3 people, it would have actually been 3 people hurt. But yeah, so it's only 11 damage to him. Still alive. He screams.
Is
Yeah.
it his armor? Like his armor?
You're the one choosing. So tell me, his armor?
Is his armor metal?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So then his whole armor is just heat metal.
Alright, so although if it doesn't, it has disadvantage. Yeah, he'll keep disadvantage because he cannot drop his armor. So he screams from the pain of burning alive, you monsters! Do you do anything else?
Let's see. What else do I have? I have a bonus action and I have movement. I guess I will move up. I don't know. Shit. I'll move up here. Fine. And then my bonus action can be to help whoever.
Alright, so Hess, now it's your turn.
Hold on. Yes. Yes. It is now Hess's turn. Blight. This motherfucker.
Yeah? Go for it.
Everyone's ganging up on the bank manager.
Yeah, it's like you're all a bunch of Karens. And you
Yeah, but that's because the bank manager sucks.
then try to hurt him. I'm still waiting.
DC
Holy
17, Constitution.
Fuck!
42.
That's like
I want to see him wither away to nothing.
like
That is so much damage that I'm hearing Kai's Brit speak. That is a lot.
and I actually half it.
Oh,
That's a 21.
21.
And I'm still alive!
Holy shit, you're on fire, you've been blighted.
Yeah, and he looks at you all and goes, I don't fucking care!
As a bonus action, I'm gonna cast Spiritual Weapon.
Alright.
Does it hit?
I like that spell.
I do need to give you a token for a spiritual weapon, don't I?
Yeah, I'll make
Um,
it a chicken.
I'm like, every time, I'm like,
Hold on, I have a token for it. There we go. This is the spiritual weapon.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll
Yeah,
leave.
Shade, I was wondering if I could get another character sheet for like wild shape and stuff.
You are actually right. I should give you another character sheet. Just give me a second. Character. So I'll call it Pose Wild Shape. Then you can rename it to whatever. Save change. Then
Which
edit. Can be edited and so it's in case and edited and controlled by key. Alright, save changes. You should see it.
Nice.
do-
Thank you.
If it does hit on a,
It does hit.
they take 9 force damage, 1 necrotic damage.
He actually gets hit, and as he dies, skewered by this force chicken, he whispers his last words, which are, "This wasn't how I wanted to die. The shame! The shame!"
Next time, make an affordable loan.
So,
You should probably work on that, hon.
after Hess, it's one of the guards who looks, "They killed the manager! Those bastards!" So, this guy launches himself forward to hit Ravandil again, because it's in front of him, but there's no Ravandil. So let's hope I actually manage to hit him. And I miss both times. So that's it. Shavnium.
Okay, well, I'm a monk, so, gonna run up to this guy.
Ah, no, wait. I actually would hit him because 13 plus 5 makes 18, but, yeah, heal. Ah, no, wait. Ravandil cannot use shield. No, wait. Just a second. So he cannot use shield because he already used it. So he gets the damage of a scimitar. So 1d6 plus 3. Alright, he's got 8 damage. Now you can go on, Shavnium.
Okay, run up to this guy.
Yeah?
And, just gonna flurry of blows, and I'm gonna make it a stunning strike. So,
Alright.
let's see. So, flurry of blows would mean that I roll, unarmed strike, twice. So, 1, 2. Do either hit.
They both do, but the second attack actually gets deflected as the man wields his sword and goes, "Not today, monk! Not today!" and parries
Well-
the second attack.
Here's the thing, I'm using a stunning strike.
He
So
parries...
the first one hits.
Yes?
The first one hits, but I made that a stunning strike.
What?
And with a stunning strike, when I hit another creature with a melee weapon attack, my hands count as a melee weapon. I can spend a key point, which I'm doing, and attempt a stunning strike. The target has to succeed on a Constitution saving
Alright,
throw or
so-
be stunned until the end of my
Well
next
then,
turn.
let's see. Maybe I succeed at the Constitution. What's the save?
I have no idea. Let me check.
I am waiting.
Okay. What is the con save for stunning strike? Target has to do a con save. Oh, it also allows for dex save or strength save.
Ah, wait, it's key save. It's 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your wisdom modifier.
Okay, so my proficiency bonus. What would the proficiency bonus be for? It's my wisdom modifier, which is 4,
Yes.
and my proficiency would be
3.
dex.
No, proficiency bonus. The one of your level. So,
So 3. So it's 7 plus 8, so 15.
15,
Yes,
alright.
at least a 15.
no, I'm stunned. So I don't parry.
Stunned. And I, as a drunken master, can disengage for free. And move
So
on to this guy.
yes, but so give him the damage of a second attack too, since he doesn't parry the second attack.
Okay, so I'll check that. So 8 and 7, so he took 15 damage, and he's stunned. And now I'm going to use Flurry of Blows on this guy, and I'm going to have one of those be, have the first attack be a stunning strike. So Flurry of Blows, smack, smack.
No. Flurry of blows is you do an attack action, then you spend the key point, and so you make 2 unarmed strikes. So
Yes, and I'm using my bonus action to do that.
you can.
Well, technically, I'm using my extra attack to do that because I can. At level 5, I get an extra attack.
Yes, but only if it's done with the same attack. So you can do this on the guy you were smacking before. You cannot disengage to do it with another target.
Okay, that's fair. So I'll just smack him another 2 times while
Yes.
he's stunned. For
Spending a key point.
That's fine. So he takes another 14.
Yes.
And now I'll move to this guy.
Yes.
And now I'll use my bonus action to cast Flurry of Blows.
No, because the bonus action does not equate to the attack action. That's the thing. So you can move there and you do maybe have a bonus action, but you cannot take that bonus action to attack. You could, for example, take that bonus action, spend another key point, and have a dodge action of a passing defense. That's the thing. Because attacking with a flurry of blow, it takes your attack action, which you have used already.
Doesn't sound right.
Hang on, let me check. Let's see.
Flurry of blows. No, sorry, I need to.
Oh wait, I can just use Phantasmal Force
Let me check.
because I can use that spell because I'm a fucking bard. So I'll
When you
use
the
Phantasmal.
attack action. Hold on, it's not in key. Immediately after you take the attack action on your turn, you can spend 1 key point to make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action. That's what Flurry of Blows does.
Yes.
So if
So I've
you have
already
a
used
bonus
Flurry of
action-
Blows.
If you have a bonus action open, you can use Flurry of Blows.
No, because the bonus action does not equate to the attack action. That
Yeah, immediately after you've taken the thing.
So I can attack one guy 6 times is what I'm hearing.
you can attack one guy 4 times. Well,
And then move on to the other guy. I've already attacked him 4 times, so I'll move on to the other guy. And now I'm going to use a bard spell. I'm going to use...
if a bad spell requires a bonus action, yes, you can.
Casting time of 1 action. Yeah, I can do this. Okay, so... I'll-
Action. No. Not action.
Well, it has to be bonus action. If it's 1 action, then you cannot. It has to be 1 bonus action.
Because you've already used your action from this turn.
Yep.
let me look up Blade Ward. Is Blade Ward fast enough that it would count as a bonus action?
I don't think so.
Well, Blade Ward is a reaction, if I'm not wrong. Ah, no,
it's a cantrip.
Yeah, but it's a casting time 1 action. No, you cannot.
What spells take only 1 bonus action?
Something that takes 1 reaction also, but...
Healing Word,
Healing word, I think.
Spiritual Weapon takes a bonus action. Shit. Some other spells, I guess, that are not Healing Word, but like, that's boring. Who would use anything other than Healing Word?
What's it called? Toll of the Dead, I think.
Nope, that's a cantrip, and it's also
Oh.
an action.
What's the other one? Is to do with the it's the Fiery Hands one. I'm pretty sure that's a bonus action.
Burning Hands?
I think.
But it's not a bad spell.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah.
Sorry, I got distracted.
Nah, it's fine, it's fine. I mean,
At this point, we're just lifting off fucking spells.
yeah, no.
Let's see. Could I have Nurse Scalpel use the help action and roll Wild Magic?
No, but you could have told me you were attacking with Nurse Scalpel, and then Nurse Scalpel can use the wild magic thing.
I mean, it would be the same damage either way.
Yeah, no, the thing is simply that Nurse Scalpel can use wild magic, sure. So you're using the slot of... Yeah, the bonus action is using scout possibility of wild magic. So...
Alright, I'll roll a 1d100. Let's see what happens.
Sure, I'll open the wild magic table.
88.
Wild magic 88. It's going to be fun. Let's see what happens. Of course, it has to be... Oh, so... Let's see, a random creature. So, you are here. So, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, going in our order. Give me a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A 1d7 dice. Well, I'll do it. 2. So, no. Ravandil! Ravandil. Oh, it's not...
Yes?
Well, you're here. You fly now.
Oh yeah!
The 88 is you cast fly on a random creature. So, Ravandil is now flying, Shafnum.
Okay, well, I still have my movement, so I'm going to, I guess, go back this way and distance myself here.
Alright.
And that'll be my turn.
Donner, it's your turn now.
Sorry, it's been a while. Was this guy stunned?
No, this guy is the one stunned.
Oh, okay.
You could, of course, hit with lightning this guy and just hit Ravandil, who's in the way. Like, who cares if Ravandil gets hurt?
I mean, I'm flying technically, so can I just, I'm just levitating.
Yeah, no, you can fly. It's not that you are already flying up in the air. You just got the fly spell on you. So now, when it's your turn next, you can fly up.
Up and upwards.
No, I think I'm just gonna firebolt the stunned guy, so the advantage kicks in.
Alright.
Fireball.
Lightning bolt. Hold on. Lightning bolt. I'm pretty sure stun. Let me just check. I'm pretty sure they can't make saves. The creature automatically fails strength and dexterity.
Yes.
savings. So that's automatic
Oh,
full
you're
damage on
right.
a lightning bolt.
Yes.
No, it's not. Well, not full damage, but whatever I
Well,
roll.
no, you know,
Yeah.
automatic,
Oh,
not half.
sure. In that case, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think I get the angle here.
Ooh.
Did you think it disappeared?
Huh?
Your,
No.
oh,
Just moved
oh.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I will lightning bolt then.
And then lightning bolt it is.
Okay, cast. I'll just do a level 3 cast. Oh, why is it? I swear I never get it to do the damage when I try to cast it. Yeah, whatever. I'll just do the roll.
Bzz, bzz. Bzz, 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 bzz. Alright, so this one is dead. And this one gets 37 damage. And he's dead too. So they're all
They're
dead.
both dead.
Yep. Ta-da.
Let's loot their bodies.
So,
Bernard looks at his hands and thinks, "I'm a murderer."
Where's
Hand?
Robert? Where's he? Did he run away?
he went to get the horses.
Yes.
So, just a
Alright,
moment.
So now,
Don't go too far, Hess. Just wait there a second. Like Hess moving along and with the giant hand of God dragging her back. Like. So.
I mean, the bank is empty, so let's take a look around.
So, a moment. You loot from the bodies. So, the manager has a large pack of keys around his belt. As
We're taking all of them.
the two guards are singed and clearly smell of bacon, all things said.
Bacon.
But, for the most part, they are clearly wearing a uniform of sorts, so they do not have personal possessions on them.
Okay. So we disguise ourselves as the guards and then we go back? And I can use Alter Self to be the manager.
Well, the changing room is probably somewhere in here, right?
Yes?
So let's just go grab some non-charred molten flesh. uniform
Stuck
before we
uniform.
continue on.
So, the door is left open, and as you step inside, you see the drawers with clothes, and the stairways down.
All right, let's all dress up as guards,
Alright?
and I'll have Shafnium use his disguise kit so that we don't waste a spell slot and use all soon. Although, Ravi, if you want to disguise yourself as the manager, that would be phenomenal.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, so Ravendale's going to disguise himself as the manager. I'm going to disguise everybody else as passable guards. Pause. My disguise kits aren't going to make your fur vanish overnight, so I'm going to make you invisible. I'm going to cast invisibility on you and me, and we're both going to just disappear.
Okay. I can get down with that.
So I'll be invisible, she'll be invisible. Before I cast invisibility, I'm going to cast Unseen Servant, so that we have an extra set of eyes to guard us as we go deep into the basement.
How long is your invisibility gonna last?
Invisibility
Like
will last
10
about as long as
minutes.
the unseen. 10 minutes? I thought it was like an hour.
Check
It
your
might be.
check your thing.
Let's see.
Uh,
Invisibility.
Because I think there was one that was like 1 minute. It depends.
Concentration up to 1 hour. Yes, sorry, my
Oh,
bad.
sweet.
Yeah, so we have an hour, and we have an hour for the Unseen Servant. So I'm going to cast the Unseen Servant. I'm going to make you and me invisible. So we'll both be unseen. We'll have an extra person to help us out. Shay, can you drop a token for the Unseen Servant?
Give me a because you're then going to be changing map, so I'll wait to drop it until you're in the other map.
Okay.
That's fair. Ravi, you're going to disguise yourself as the bank manager, and that means that Donner and Hess are going to disguise themselves as guards. Robert is in charge of bringing back our getaway vehicle. We're going to go down. We're going to take a look around, sweep out, make sure that nobody stops us from getting as much of the gold, silver, anything of any value at all that isn't nailed down. We are taking it and we're putting it in whatever bags of holding that they have, and they inevitably have them.
Alright, so
Hess tries to fashion out a small outfit for Galio.
well, there is actually an outfit for an halfling, so it actually you managed something. Galio does not look pleased.
Alright, I'm going to use the disguise kit to make everybody look extra, super, special convincing so that we don't resemble ourselves at all.
Alright,
So, disguise kit proficiency. Oop.
perfect.
Yeah, we look so generic.
Nice.
Nobody can even recognize.
You know, yeah, no, it's fine. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna use the disguise on everybody around us, like everybody, so that even if two of us are invisible, including myself and Pause, if the invisibility dispels, we're like the extra super special secret guards.
Yeah.
I'm leaving nothing to chance here.
We're the secret police.
so place yourself here on the scene area on the lower, and then
Okay.
Wait, where is the screen?
at the bottom of the map.
Oh, okay.
I can never place my token.
Why?
No, let me try again.
Did you try clicking on your name, not on your image?
Just use this token.
I do.
Uris doesn't.
There it goes.
Well-
Finally, it worked.
Where's my thing?
You placed it in the dark. Let me just put it back here in the light where it belongs.
Thank
So
you.
now wait, I'll give you an unseen servant.
Wait, where's Donner?
Yeah, I still can't seem to.
Give me
I
a
don't know
second
why
and I
I'm
will. Pluff. There you go.
Okay, so Donner Hess, you're gonna be Donner Hess. You're going to be right behind Ravi. We'll be behind.
So, just so you know, I have actually been doing my very best not to laugh until now. Now, Esther, return when you don't want to be there. Trust me, go back to the others. So,
I lost sight of my token.
yeah, I had
Oh
no...
wait, there it is. Got it.
Go back here. So, wait a second, and I'll give this token to Shaft to move. So,
Still,
Oh,
I
hey,
feel.
feel unseen.
So I'm gonna have
so-
the unseen servant act as the spearhead in front of us.
Yeah. Just give me a second, because again, I am currently laughing, and you don't know why, but soon you will. And so you're all perfectly camouflaged as guards. And
we're all perfectly camouflaged as guards. I'm invisible.
I know. So the session will end because it's 6:20. But before it ends,
Chill, what's that?
Okay.
Oh, come on!
Get into the vault.
we were expecting you, adventurers. This vault will be your tomb, and we will end it here today. So,
Well, at least we level up after this.
well, next session, not this one, the next one. The end of the next one, you level up.